Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. I am your host, George.Daniel, a.k.a. Danny. Today, we do have a very special guest, someone who I've known for years. But before we get to him, I just want to give a shout out to my producer, Matt. How was your weekend? How's everything going?
Chilling, man. It was good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just starting my weekend, so hopefully it's good.
Hell yeah.
So far.
Hell yeah. And now to introduce to you our guest today, it's my homie Ivan Chavez, one of the dopest dudes that I know. My mom was his Sunday school teacher. It's deep ties.
Which is crazy.
Everybody, welcome Ivan Chavez. Yo. All right. But yeah, you technically flew in from LA, yesterday?
Last night. Yeah. I flew in at 10:20.
10:20.
And just got picked up and went straight to family and showered and went to sleep. I was I'm fucking tired as fuck.
Yeah.
I had to work from 8:30 to 4:30 and I was I'm just trying to get over here and relax. Right. And decompress and not think of anything.
Dude, so what has it even really been like living in LA?
This one I feel is different. My first go at it was school.
Yeah.
So it was I'm just there for school. That was the main objective. Go to school, graduate. I was working at Phil's, but the main objective is at the end of the day was to graduate.
Right.
So I felt it was more confined. I didn't really get to experience LA.
Yeah.
I got to go places, hang out and do fun shit, but it wasn't there was always stress behind it, you know?
Right.
But this time was since we moved last year, it was it's just been crazy. I was working at Lever for Chrome Hearts, just left Chrome Hearts for this other job called Dream Crew, and it's just been I think this one just crazy. That's the best word. It's just I feel we're always running around, doing stuff, seeing stuff, actually experiencing LA. Right. Going to different parts of LA.
Where's that located? And LA's huge, you know, but so is it closer to Fairfax area or where exactly are you staying?
I'm living in West Hollywood, so literally Fairfax area.
Okay, bet.
But all my last 3 jobs have been in that same Fairfax, West Hollywood, literally Verve was at the corner of the street. At the top of that street is my new job, and 2 blocks away was Chrome Hearts. Yeah. So literally, they all clown me. They're like the Melrose whore, because I'm just jumping around different job to different job, but it's on that street. But it's
that's cool.
I'm
that's
trying
cool.
to go up.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, if you're living in LA, you might as well be doing the damn thing. You know, you can't just fucking be moping around in LA. I feel it's also a beautiful place where the weather's always nice. You can't complain too much. But yeah, no, that's fucking sick. So you were talking about school earlier. So before we get into everything else, do you want to give everyone just kind of a basic rundown as to who you are and kind of just your story to get to where you are now?
Sick. So I grew up in Sunnyvale, literally down the street from you in Mountain View, and 2 parents, Mexican parents. They came when they were young from Mexico. Went to elementary school, literally throughout high school. And then in high school, I was yo, I got to go to college. Because, that's kind of you get kind of pushed to go to college and do all this. And, I was shit, then I'm going to go. And then I went to community college. Maybe a month before I was supposed to leave to Sonoma State, my mom convinced my best friend to, convince him not to go. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's, mature enough to, live and be alone and kind of going off to college type beat he convinced me, so I ended up going to De Anza for 2 years, which was when I started working at Phil's, and me and you reconnected because we hadn't seen each other because we used to do KLD, and that's where we hung out a lot as kids, and then became coaches, but we went to different schools and all that type of stuff. So it's but yeah, literally from there going from to community college, I felt those 2 years actually helped me develop as a human. I felt before that I was kind of just a kid.
Right.
I was literally just like a kid, like just trying to get out of the house.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I think everyone noticed with you and who your personality is like the fucking, like, everyone's like, protect Ivan at all costs. Like, he's like, you are like the inner child that we all are, but now, like, we have so much, like, bullshit or whatever that we just kind of make believe in our head. That, like, we're just like, no, like, protect him, he's the sweetest person in the fucking world, like, all this other stuff. But, like, yeah, I feel like that's how everyone viewed you, was just kind of like our little baby who's, like, still, like, you know, like,
not really out there
like,
yet.
yeah, you know, like, you didn't drink, you didn't do anything, you know. It was like very, and if you did, it was probably with family, you know. But, like, still, like, but yeah, everyone, that's how I feel like everyone kind of saw you for a little bit. But and then I think, like, it really transitioned once you did go to college, and everyone's like, oh shit, because like, you're gone. And then also, like, from what we saw was just, like, you starting to, like, fully express yourself externally, if that makes sense. Like, the way that you would cut your hair and everything else. And yeah, you were kind of doing that here, but I feel like over there, you kind of made it like a point, you know, which was sick to see from a distance. But yeah, do you want to, like, talk about, like, going from community college on to college? Do you, like, what do you think happened to you in between that time period where, like, you kind of were like, oh dude, I'm more comfortable, or I'm more like, I'm gonna expect myself to do this now?
I think it was like seeing, like, I feel like when you guys still met me, I still gave up like a lot of fuck of what, like, people thought of me, like, oh my god, like, how he's dressed, how he, like, talks and all this. And I think, like, slowly I started noticing, like, people really don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, people are, like, really kind of just, like, we're all living to our own drum, like, to the beat of our own drum. And, like, I was like, oh shit, like no one really cares, like, if I dye my hair, no one cares if I get tattoos, no one cares this or that. It's kind of just like, you're just like, oh, like, I'm my own person. Like, we're all different, but, like, I think experiencing, like, adulthood, finally, like, being in LA and be like, oh shit, like, I gotta work. Like, there's kids who can just come to the school and, like, not worry about anything because, like, their family got it like that.
Right.
But, like,
right.
I couldn't. Like, I had to work.
Especially us growing up in this area, you know, it's such an affluent area. Like, the people who lived in your complex understood the struggle, you know, your apartment complex. But then everyone else, like, all your homies who you went to school with, like, they were, like, living in a 2-story house that, like, probably, you know, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's definitely weird growing up in this area.
No, growing up in this area, like, did you ever see, like, the Chappelle special where he's like, we're the poor people in middle class?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, you go to school and, like, someone's dad's, like, the VP of fucking Apple.
Exactly.
And then it's like, oh shit, my parents clean houses.
Yeah.
But you go to these houses, you do the projects with them, and you're like, holy shit, like, I've never seen this.
Dude, I, like, honestly, I am whitewashed.
Same.
You know? But, like, it's so absurd to, like, see the complete difference of, like, lifestyles, you know? Like, going to friends' houses out in, like, Los Altos Hills, you know, and seeing their, like, multi-million-dollar home, but, like, it felt empty, you know. And then I'd go to, like, my homie's house on Rainsdorf and be like 8 of them living in a 2-bedroom or whatever, but, like, the food is smacking, everyone's there, parents are together, you know.
There's
like,
a bond, there's, like, a certain
like,
connection.
Different. It was just different. And, like, yeah, like, there was tension always, but that's, like, tension of love, you know. Like,
and it's always like there's a stress. I feel like there's always a common stress, and maybe, like, financial stress or, like, family stress, but there was always, like, there's, like, a certain bond that when you enter, like, I'd have friends, they come like, yo, like, your family's, like, very connected, like,
right.
There's so many of y'all all hang out, the way you guys talk to each other. Yeah, there's, like, always, like, dumb little petty drama, but at the end of the day, like, there's a bond, there's a connection. You go, like you said, these houses, and there's no sense of family, like, they're family by name, but, like, their parents maybe like work to the break of dawn, and, like, they never see their kids, and, like, the kids kind of just, like, get to, like, do whatever the fuck, and, like, and the kids have no stress, like, oh, like, shit, like, I know a lot of kids like they would get jobs just to like get the job because they were like bored at home. It's
That-
not
yeah,
because
that's what I was gonna say. Like, was like the difference was like like growing up poor, you kind of have to figure out your role within your family first, and then like and then you go out into society. But you figure out your role at a very young age, oddly enough, you know, and you know like what you can and can't do, and like blah blah blah. But like what I've seen with like my more affluent friends, they have no role, so they're just bouncing around doing whatever the fuck they want. And like I mean, it doesn't matter what the outcome is, but it's just a different perspective of life, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was really super interesting, and I think like not like I mean not a lot of people even like realize it, you know, that it's happening to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was cool. But I digress. So back to you moving from the Bay over down to SoCal. How was that transition for you?
It was kind of crazy because like I'm an only child, so there's like certain like your parents are always like checking in on you.
Right.
Either in like they're like always like, do you have homework? Or you do this? Like over there I'm just like completely alone. Like yeah, my parents call me, but it's like not the same because they're like 400 miles away. Like
Right.
they can only do so much. Now I'm over here doing whatever I want. If I want to go out, I can go out. If I want to go drink, I can go drink. If I want to do my homework, I can do it. Like at this point I'm independent. Like there's nowhere like my parents behind me like asking me doing like any of that stuff. So it's like you kind of got to learn to like I'm someone who I don't need structure, but I like to have some structure so it like fixes everything. Like okay, like went to work, got back, do as much work as I can right now so I can hang out later. Do this,
Right.
do this, do like kind of like a certain schedule in my mind where I can like slowly break stuff down. But like I had to do that like on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And like even my parents, like I don't like to bother. I don't know, it's like some like kid shit, but like I don't like to bother. I'm like, yo, like if they're like, yo, you got money, I'm like, yeah. Like even if I didn't, I would just say yeah, just so that
Right.
I wouldn't like
Add any stress to them.
Yeah,
They're
'cause
already like they're
stressed
already,
out.
Yeah, they're already stressed out. You're like fucking 500 miles away. They can't just like be there, you know, if something happens.
Yeah,
and
and
vice versa, you know.
No, literally.
So yeah,
And I'm like, they got more things to worry about. Like they got like they're over here working. They got like other families, so they got like stuff to worry about. I don't want to be a bother.
yeah,
Like I want them to just be like, oh, like he's doing fine.
right,
And I think I finally like brought it up to them once. My mom was like, oh, you must have loved it. I was like, dude, like there was times where I had like probably like $50 or like, and I had to spread that shit out for like 2 weeks.
yeah,
And they're like, wait, why didn't you tell us? I was like, why?
yeah,
So you can be stressed out. So you can be sad. I was like, and then like they like were like sad and like you should have told. I was like, no, like
and also
I have to figure it out.
And dude, that's exactly what the fuck I was gonna say. Like sometimes, like I don't ask for help just to be like, I can get myself out of this. Like I know I can. So like just fucking do it, you know, type shit.
Yeah.
Just so I can learn it now versus having to learn it when I'm 35 with a child or some bullshit. Like that would be insane. Like I might as well do it now, learn all the mistakes, and then fucking move forward from there. But yeah, like
You gotta learn to fly. And I feel like that's like a problem like some only children don't have, and like they don't know, like and some of those like the kids we grew up that were like very affluent, like they don't know how to fly. They can't fly.
Right.
Like one little problem sets them back so bad just because they've never had like the opportunity of like doing something on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to fly or like do any of that type of stuff. So it's like I was like, I just wanted to learn how to fly. I want to be able to like, so you guys don't have to worry about me.
Right.
I was like, cause like, yeah, I'm like your only son, so you're always worried. Like, dang, what happens if I'm not here? Like, is he gonna be okay? Like, I want you to see that like,
yeah,
I'll be fine.
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's insane. That's because I actually don't know many people who are only like children. If it, you know, like, so like how like genuinely like obviously you have hella cousins. I know some of your cousins, you know. So it's just like it's not like you were by yourself, but like at night you were.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just like, how was it like being an only child? Like genuinely, that's such a basic dumb question, but like I honestly am so like I care. Yeah.
Like only children, like they tend to be a little weirder. Like maybe because you're always alone. Like if my parents would work, like yeah, I had my cousins, so I'd go with them. Like
Right.
I'd be like babysat by Johnny's mom, so like I would always be like around people, but like you said, you learn like it's gonna sound like to play by yourself. Like you learn how to be by yourself like all the time. Like I would either play with my little like WWE like wrestlers, like do this, do that. I'd find like games to play within like just like in the confines of my own room. So like you learn how to be yourself, but it's also like a lot of pressure. Like you know how you said everyone has a role. My role is like I'm the future of our family. Like
right. You're the end all be all.
Yeah, it's like like.
That's insane to think about. Actually, I've never even thought about that. Genuinely, I've never like crossed my mind.
Because I'm like, if you have like a couple siblings, like I've told my parents, because my parents like I once told them, I was like, yo, like when you guys pass, it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just me. I don't have no like I have cousins to like for like emotional support, but at the end of the day, it's just me.
Right.
Like who's paying for it? It's probably gonna be me. Like
yeah.
Like at the end, like
yeah, dude.
But I'm also
that's
like
insane.
But like,
holy shit. I've never even thought about that. That honestly like fucked my brain just because like at least like I mean like knock on wood, but like if anything were to happen to like my mom or something, like I at least have my sister, you know? So like yeah, but like dude, that would be crazy. Yeah. Like to even yeah, that's baffling, honestly.
You can't fuck up. That's one of the things like as an only children, like you can really or only child, you can't really fuck up. Like you can, but like the leeway's so small. Like I like told my cousin like, yo, you have the ability like to be quote unquote like the sheep, black sheep, or like the like fuck up, even though you're not. It's like because you have another sibling. Right. If one doesn't work out, we have another one to focus on. Right. But also I have all the resources. Yeah. Like you know Latinos breed like crazy. Yeah, like we have a million kids like but then you also think about like the resources like parents if we're not affluent, you got to feed 10 kids. Right. How are you going to do that? But like for me it's like it's just me. So like I never had to worry about like hand me downs because I just like I'm an only child. Like yeah, my parents didn't have much money, but all the money we did have
would go to you.
Go to me, food, this, that. Right. It's like you want to be in soccer? Yeah, sure, let's go. Like we don't got to worry about like another kid, which like is a really good benefit. Mm-hmm. Like there's like gives and takes where it's like
no, for sure.
Like,
yeah,
I have all the attention. I have all the attention like of my parents. Like my dad's like, yo, let's go play soccer at the park. Like and we just be kicking it there. Like when I see some other people
so dope. Oh, dude, as someone who didn't have like a family structure, like a sick family structure, like it was like that's kind of tight to think about, like because I didn't graduate from a normal high school. I went to the continuation high school. So like the classes were a lot smaller. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot more focus on any one-on-one, you know, like questions that you maybe don't want to ask in front of the class, you know, or whatever. But it just felt easier, like everything, like asking a question at the end of the year, everyone was raising their hand now, you know? So it was just like one of those, like, so that's kind of cool that you had that from such a young age, you know, like because I think most people, if there's 2-3 children, it's someone's getting ignored, you know, like it just depends on what you're doing or if you're sick or blah blah blah. It just depends, you know.
It's like at that time it's like who's the highest priority, who's the one messing up, so we got to focus on him, right? The one that's like chill and doing work, focus on them. But for me it's just like it's always me. Right. Like but that's like also like the pressure. It's like it's only you. Like what happens if I fuck up? Like if I don't work out, like I can never, you know, like those generational curses of like growing up in poverty, like you're never gonna break it if I fuck up. So I kind of gotta like start breaking it.
Remind me, where did you go to school again?
Vargas Elementary.
Homestead. No. But when you went off to college?
UCLA.
Okay, I wanted you to flex. I've been holding back, but I wanted you to flex. Yeah, like you went to UCLA, right? So like that's like fucking almost like in my head is just like baffling, especially just because like there's like the only look I got was fucking Santa Cruz. I was gonna be a banana slug. You know, like
Santa Cruz is a vibe though. Low
it's
key,
a vibe,
it's
but
a
like
vibe.
I'm not gonna go into debt
for a banana slug.
For a banana slug, like that's over the hill. Like I'm like I want the college experience, quote unquote. Yeah. And I'm like I'm just gonna smoke weed over there and just become a wook and like you know whatever. But yeah, that's fucking so impressive and so fucking awesome. But what did you go to school for again?
History.
And you're not using any of that right now.
Nothing. hey, the way my parents like, I love it. Like my parents are like, yo, like you study history, but you make clothes. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, how do you use that for that? I'm like, because my parents like were like, and I understand they wanted like the safe vibe. They're like, go be a teacher type shit. Like, go be a lawyer type shit. Like,
but you can always be a teacher, right?
Yeah, but like in theory, I would just have to get like I think the permit or like some like license.
I mean, you
like,
need to get or you need to pass some classes
class to get like a license or whatever. But it's like I'm like I basically do the hard part.
Dude, they be giving that shit out. Honestly,
I'm like some of these teachers were dumb. Some of these teachers be dumb as fuck.
Like, hey.
But also
respectfully.
So like I thankfully had a good amount of good teachers, but I also had some dumbass teachers where I'm like,
no, I wouldn't say dumb. They're just lazy. Lazy.
They didn't care.
No, because at the end of the day, it's a fucking job. When I learned that recess was actually their break,
that's crazy, right? A 15-minute break. A 15-minute
I was
break,
in like
a
6th grade, and I was just like, dude, that's some bullshit. Like, that's not even for us. If it was up to them, they would fucking have us there for 8 hours straight. And I was just like, dude, like.
No, the fact that teachers don't be killing kids.
Right?
Wait, no, like keep it 100. Like I think of like my younger cousins. They're pieces of shit, bro. Okay, not pieces of shit. They're just a lot. They're a lot, and like I'm like, I do have a cousin who's a teacher, and like I respect that like the patience you have. The patience you have to not like these kids be annoying, bro. And some of these be testing your buttons. Like they may be going through stuff, but like you're like these kids are like a menace to society.
Yeah,
like
but it's your job to fucking steer
and there's some
them
teachers,
in the right way.
And there's some that do, but
that's
some
what I'm saying.
don't.
That's the cool thing. That's what I honestly like really admire about teachers is like like especially like elementary, middle school teachers. Like they're the ones who really like fucking they are make or break you.
But high schoolers are just as bad though, dude. Because these kids are already grown up. They're grown up. They're just being a piece of shit because they want to now. Like middle school.
And also you're kind of grown a little bit, and you should be like, nah, fuck that. Like fuck this, like
I wish a teacher could be like, yo, fuck this dumbass little kid. Like, yo, fuck you. Like stop like disrespecting, but they can't. Like they gotta be professional. Yeah. Like it takes a lot. Like the patience.
Dude,
I don't have that. Dude,
I've been watching a lot of like videos on Twitter of like fights happening at school. Like high school fights are so fucking funny, but like I saw one where a teacher was trying to break it up.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Bro, she literally like she was just like stop. Next thing you know, just goes back. Oh, dude, it was so sad to watch. Like, but God bless all our teachers. You guys are awesome.
No, literally, I have a couple like. Big respects to you. I still got your numbers. I love y'all. Like, thank you. You guys did well.
Yeah. Thank you. But no, I wanted to be a teacher for sure. Like that was like when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna be a cop, and then I realized what a cop was, and then I was like, I'm gonna be a teacher, and then I was like, that's fucking better. Then I can like But I wanted to be a U.S. history teacher, and I knew that when I was like in like 8th grade.
I had a really good U.S. history teacher. He actually I was like, damn, like history is actually fun.
History to me was the only subject in school where it's yes, this is fact because this is what happened, but the point of view of how the story is told,
the winner,
is different. It's different from the loser's perspective versus the winner's perspective versus a person who wasn't involved and was a third party is a different perspective. Yeah. So it was just like this is the timeline is true, but it's on you to pick what you want to like, how you want to view it,
and how many like. If you actually want to put in the effort to see the many point of views, because usually the one that we get taught in school is either our countries or the winners.
I thought Christopher Columbus was tight for the longest time. Dude.
Hey, yo.
Dude.
Yeah. Like, it's still crazy, though, if you think about it. Coming from some middle buttfuck nowhere to another middle buttfuck nowhere, that's kind of crazy. Like on a boat.
Dude, in my head, they romanticized the fuck out of it.
They do.
They were like, oh, this guy who's like wanted to like explore and blah, blah, blah.
They made the conquerors look like they were dripped out. The conquistadors were always dripped out. Those paintings, motherfuckers look dripped the fuck out.
Nah, but they actually, they were kind of iced out though. They were though.
They were. Dude, they looked like they were in Paris Fashion
armor.
Week, bro.
They had armor. We had gold. Fucking leaves or whatever.
Yo, I still think that's a lie though. I feel like we had something, but they didn't want to say.
No, we for sure. No, I mean, but the thing is, like, I mean, from what I see in the documentaries or whatever, is the fact that like
we look like savages. Because that's the thing.
No, it's not even that. Like, okay, yeah, did we do some crazy shit for sure?
Oh no. I mean, like in the way they like kind of like dress us in paintings and stuff. Like they make it look like
But
the
those are
Aztecs
our paintings.
Yeah, but some okay, yeah, but yeah,
those are ours.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
are.
like that's just how we would dress, and that's fine. That's fine.
It's whatever.
And
It's whatever.
It has
Like,
nothing to do with it because like the thing is like we like Mayans and Aztecs were like the first ones to like really fucking like. Especially the Aztecs,
they're conquering the fuck out of
not
those
just
small things,
not even that, but we're able to use irrigation in a way that no one in the Eastern Front like knew how to use it. Like we had aqueducts, we had all this other stuff like actual plumbing. They would create channels in order to feed and water different plants and animals and everything else. So it was just like, dude, it was insanely smart. But the only thing was just that they got fucked by the coronavirus essentially and fucking killed them.
Yeah.
And then the ones who did survive just ended up just chilling and fucking all the Spaniards, which was cool. We're here.
We're
still,
here. That literally, yeah. So it's like that's kind of us, but
but like that's like that's pretty much what happened.
literally, and that's the thing. Like even them, they weren't probably not smart enough to know that those germs were gonna fuck all of us.
Right. And
unless if they knew, that's fucking crazy. But if they didn't know, it's like that's kind of crazy. Like you just show up to somewhere and like you start fucking everyone up by accident. Like you're not even having to kill these foods. Like you're killing them, but like not through like violence. It's
right.
Like, oh, here's a blanket, motherfucker's dead. Like 3 weeks later, it's like, oh shit, we just knocked all these foods out in a fail swoop.
Yeah, it's insane. But I mean,
but yeah, history teachers always loved it.
Yeah, I loved history. They were always the coolest ones. They were always the weirdest ones also. Like
eccentric.
Yeah. But like definitely like the ones who were just like, but like give me your opinion. Like then I was just like, all right, well like fuck white people, you know, like not literally, but like literally.
Like what they're doing is kind of fucked up. What they're doing is mad fucked up.
But yeah, it was cool. It was like genuinely was like one of my favorite subjects. And like yeah, it's just fun seeing the same cycle that's happening, happen. You know,
it's like we never really learn from history.
Right.
We do the same fuck ups. But like that's the thing. Like everything's kind of like history based. Like that's where like my parents were like, yo, what are you gonna do with it? I was like, yo, I make clothes. Like 90% of my references and like comes from like the history of fashion of like years of like like everyone's wearing like the early Y2K shit right now. That shit like half of these kids weren't even wearing it. Like or like you were like 3 when this shit was happening. Like I was like 5. Like and now everyone's wearing it. I'm like, oh, like it's just gonna come in waves. It's gonna like you see old stuff and you're like, oh, that's sick. Let me bring a modern take to it. Right. I was like, that's probably as much as like the history degree I'm using for. Also, like UCLA history, like respectfully, like they just say like take any random 20 like history classes. You don't gotta focus. Like there's no focusing unless you do like
history.
It's just history. It's like there's no like like your U.S. history, like that's your whole like major. It's like no, it's just history. Like you can do any 10 or like I think it was like 10 or like 16 classes. Like
dude, then I'd get a degree in science. You know,
that's the thing. Like you like I don't remember one thing I learned. Like not one thing, but it's like I don't remember anything from any of my classes. Like I know there's somewhere in my room there's like notebooks from like all my classes, but I don't remember like. And it's not to like I got good like diminish whatever, but it's like so history is like
okay. I'm obviously didn't go to school or go to college, obviously. So walk me through your mind. Walk me through the general mindset of just choosing a fucking major.
It was the only class I was good at.
Oh, okay. That was just literally it.
It was literally it because I'm shit at science.
Yeah. No, math, because like dude,
math, I can't do that shit for my life. Like I can do algebra. Like they made me do stats. I passed with that teacher. Fucking hated me. I know for a fact because I would sleep in class. I passed with like a 68.9. Like it was a C minus. That was considered a C minus in that class. Right. A 68.9. She let me pass with that. I was like a normal teacher would have like failed my dumb ass and made me retake it, but I think she was just tired of me sleeping in class. So she was like, I'm just gonna let this food pass. Yeah. Like, cause like she was hella boring, but like so I was like I can write. Like I'm a decent writer. I just like.
Do you think your professor like knows like your major and everything?
They could probably check it.
Right, but do you think they actually do? Like, do you think they give that much of a fuck?
Nah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like so like I wonder if she ever like actually looked at your file or whatever and was like, oh, history, fuck this. He doesn't care.
You know he don't. Like it's like. Also, she wasn't the teacher that was approachable. She was like an older, like probably like 60s, like white woman. I was like, and like she was like just like very boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like her voice was very boring. Like like every like class she would just bring you like she'd give you the sheet of the notes that was happening, and she's like just follow along, and like it would like take her 20 minutes to do one sheet. So I'd fall asleep, wake up, and like just have to copy the last like end of the notes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. That's the one thing about math that I didn't like was like, yes, it like the one thing I do love about math is that it's a universal language.
Mm-hmm.
So like no matter what it is, it's everyone can agree that okay, fact, if you can prove it.
Yeah.
But it's so black and white. And it's just like this is the answer because this is how you do it.
2 + 2 is always going to equal 4 type.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, I mean, sometimes that equals fish, you know.
Like,
and it's just like, and that's where my head is. It's just like I'm that guy. Like I was I was always the weird.
you're asking the whys.
Yeah,
It's like when a little kid, you're like, why,
Yeah.
why can't you do that? Why? Like it's like you're like curious to know like why is it always just this?
Like I would always like, dude, Socratic seminars. Don't get me in a Socratic seminar, dude.
You'd be talking, huh?
Dude,
You'd be that kid that everyone don't
I just
stop
need
talking
one
to.
person to disagree, and we're like, all right, bet now this is fun. Because to me, it's not even a matter of like if I'm right or wrong. It's the fact of like it's that intellectual debate of being like, can I come up with like remember the text or whatever,
Yeah.
and remember a fact so I can like rebuttal whatever the fuck she or he is saying.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like now it's fun. Now it's chess.
Yeah.
You know.
Now it's like a mental chess.
Yeah.
It's not just like
Yeah. But yeah, and but yeah, that's sick. So you went to UCLA, hard flex, and
my parents still flex that shit too.
Dude, I
those
would be
fools-
wearing a jersey everywhere.
My
I
parents
went.
rocked
Like,
that like UCLA mom, UCLA dad.
Yeah.
Like my graduation, like you're given 4 tickets. I had a friend like who like said that they were gonna go but didn't go just to give me an extra 4 tickets because like the whole family wanted to come. Like we had like 10 deep the first day because it was like 2 graduations, like the big school one and then like your major, and then the major one that one's like unlimited tickets.
Oh,
so I had like
shit.
20 fucking people there, bro.
Right.
These fools had like t-shirts like that said spelled out Fernando. Like each one had an F-E-R. Like it was like all of them like they were spelling that shit out. Like it was hella fools. Like. And I was like, shit, like, it's lit. Like, it's cool seeing, like, people being there for you. But I was like, damn, like, we really those people. And then, like,
dude, but, like, honestly, like, let's be real, dude. Like, okay.
It feels good, though.
Dude.
Feels great.
Dude, how many brown people do you know graduating from UCLA who aren't Indian? No offense. But, like, you know, like, like, for real.
True.
Like, how, like, we, I think, celebrated you tough. Also,
yeah.
You know, like the entire time, like once you got accepted and everything, which we knew we saw the work that you were putting in. So
I never went out with y'all.
I know
it was rare. Like I think like everyone would be like, yo, like you never like went out with us. You never came to the parties. You never did anything. Like, and it wasn't because like I didn't want to. It was just like I'm focused. Like I want to get the fuck out of here.
And
like,
that like I literally have it written down where I'm like, that's one of the few things that like. Or a few things. That's one of the things that like really inspired me from like that you've inspired me with or by doing. Like literally like the fact that you can be like, nah, I see the fucking goal. I'm gonna do that. And like when I get the chance and if you guys are still there, then I'll ride with you guys. But just understand that I got this plan and you fucking did it, dude. Like not like that shit is impressive. I know fucking so many people in high school who fucking got a 4.2 or whatever and didn't get accepted to the school that they wanted to. And it's just like, that's insane. But you went to community college, you did the work there, and then from there you transferred over, and then you fucking finished.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I finished. Like that's all that mattered. Like just
proper
finishing.
finished. Where a lot of people just go there and then maybe like it's the pressure of the thing, and then they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Like that
kind of
happens.
lost. You're lost. You just get lost.
You know, you're in a different place. You know, a different bubble, like different energy and whatever. So like it's yeah. I can only imagine, especially like being the only child, like you were saying. That's the added pressure of finishing.
I was like, from my dad's side, I think like he told me, I think you're the first one like out of all your cousins.
Right.
Like, and I have like a fuck ton of cousins from that side. He's like,
Right.
you're the first one, and then like I think from my mom's side, the ones that live in the Bay Area, I think I was the only one so far. So far, like there's still like a couple younger ones than me.
Right.
And like
Dude,
my cousin goes to UC Irvine. Like it's like, but it's like it's just like, oh shit. And I'm like, it's more like, because like if you see someone else do it, you're like, oh, if they could do it, I can do it type shit.
Right.
And I think that's the goal.
So important. That's so fucking important, and I'm glad you said that. That like, you know, just like the fact that like we just need examples. You know, if we just have an example of one throughout our life, you start seeing like, oh, this thing is real. Like I can actually do this. You know. If my uncle wasn't a quinceañera DJ, I would never be like, oh, I can proper be a DJ. Like, you know, I can do this shit. And be like, all right, well, like, you know, like I'll make a couple bucks off of it or whatever. But like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
If like, you know, if it wasn't for like me doing theater and having a dope ass like acting coach or acting teacher, like I wouldn't think that like I could be okay on the mic. Yeah. Genuinely. He was the first one who was like, no, you have like your tone is fun enough where I can
hear you. Like I'd like to hear you.
Right. And just like that, and like from there I'm like, okay, bet. Like I'll do whatever I can, you know. I went from dancing to like trying to act a little bit.
Were you a shuffler?
I was a little bit of a shuffler.
I know, because you used to be one of those swag fools, bro.
Okay, no. I was definitely one of those guys.
No. There's pictures of you.
Oh, we can pull it up.
No, in that little. No, he was the fool with like the crew neck and like the like button up under it.
Yo,
with, like
Tumblr
out.
Yo, I was.
No. This fool always had a bow tie. This dude was one of those kids. Dude. No, he was. I ain't gonna say the other part. It was swag. The other thing. Yeah. But like I ain't gonna say that. But he would be those kids at Great America, like doing the little pictures and shit. Like
okay, that I wasn't at Great America.
He was at Halloween Haunt. He was at Halloween Haunt. Sorry, my bad. Sorry,
shit. Whatever you call it, whatever it is, I was about it. I was doing it. I was for sure. I like fucking went hard on the whole rave thing.
No, I know also. You did. She was lit.
I mean, no, yeah, but yeah, I definitely. Me and Pedro were.
No, you two, yeah, as a unit.
Yeah,
as a unit, you guys like ran that shit. Like,
but we also it's because dude, we went to like me and him went to youth group together. So like I went to me and him went to like Jesus camp and
weren't y'all like next door neighbors type shit too?
No.
Like, were you really?
Nah.
But you don't live not next door neighbors. We like live like down the street.
No.
Cause he was on Middlefield. He was on Middlefield, right? No, was that Middlefield? What street is that? The one like going to Walmart.
I don't know. He lived like closer to like where my daycare was in Palo Alto.
Oh shit, really?
Oh well, he first lived on California.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
California.
But then that was when I still lived in like Calderon, like on the other side of
the tracks
of downtown Mountain View.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like closer to Sunnyvale.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So like we were like completely.
So you guys just met at like Jesus camp?
Well, we played at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then we fucking some like Japanese guy was like, "Hey Pedro, I'm here to pick you up," and we're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know. And then Pedro was like, "Pull up, like he'll pay for your in and out." I was like, "Bet we're in there."
you're like free food,
dude.
Shit, I'm going.
Yeah, and then
no, he could have told a white bust y'all if he's just trying to like
kidnap y'all. If he wanted to,
he could have kidnapped the shit out of y'all.
I don't know, man. I think like me and Pedro together are pretty scrappy. Single-handedly, he might have gotten us. Yeah. Like if it was just individually, but yeah. But anyways, so like you finish school, you're here, but throughout school and like when you were here in Phil's, you started like a clothing brand. Yes. Essentially. Can you like walk me through like a little bit of the history, because now it is a different name, right?
Yes, we changed it.
And then also just like kind of walk me through like the process as to like what kind of even what went into your mind and think like, oh, I should do this, you know, like this would be cool, because like that's everyone has that idea, but then you proper did it, you know. So like
it's I don't know, like because I always wanted to start it while I was working at Phil's, like, but I always felt like people were gonna be like, yo, like he's just trying to copy like, you know, like shapes and stuff like that. Right. So they're like, oh, he's trying to copy him or like be like him. And I'm like, no, I always felt like I always liked clothes. Like I don't know if it was just like me like wanting to match and like looking fire. Like when you guys were on your Tumblr stuff, like I loved it too. It just during that time I wasn't really as confident and like I was kind of chunky, so like I didn't feel like I could rock it like y'all used to rock it.
Right.
So I never wore it. I was like shit, but I wanted to.
That's dude. It's weird that like kind of like you kind of remind me of that, because last episode I was telling John the guest like that like I go to festivals and I wear jeans now, you know, and like just a regular tee. But like I used to go to fucking school with a bow tie on, like dude, and like all this shit. Like I was already proper insane, you know, like that is crazy.
No, I remember
like,
the pictures. I like yeah, but yeah, like it was just like that, and I was like, I would see people like, or like I always wanted to like dress and feel good. And people were like, oh, you dress well. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, like it was like whatever, that type of stuff. But like at one point I was like, people were like, this, some of the Supreme shit and like some of this other like brand, I was like, yo, this shit not that fire. Like I was like, I can do better. And I was like, and I like in my head I was like, I know I can do better. So I would just like make clothes for me. And then like at first, like once I was in UCLA, I felt more confident. I was like, shit, fuck it. Like, why am I over here like doubting myself? Like, why am I like, oh, no one's gonna like it? Like, I feel like that's what it is. It's always like, you're like, it's kind of like the insecurity in you. You're like, fuck, like, what if no one likes it?
Right.
It's like, what if I release this and no one fucks with it? And it's kind of, and at one point I was like, yo, like, I like clothes, I like shopping, but I feel like I can do better than what they're doing.
Right.
Because some of this stuff is like not for me.
Right.
I was like, I want to make, like, most of the stuff I wear is for me. Like I do it for me. I'm like, if I'm not gonna wear it, I'm not gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, oh, okay, like, and at first we were just like, I was deciding on a name, and I was like just trying to improvise, and like the feelings back then were like very like insecure and stuff. So I was like, I barely like myself. That's why the first shirt was said, I barely like myself. And then I was talking to my friends, you're like, yo, that's kind of like depressing, like, cause then that kind of puts you in a box where it's like it can only be kind of like sad and like
yeah, that was also the era of like Lil Uzi and
everyone was sad. Everyone was sad. Everyone's like, and so like I just called it Ivan's world, because I was like, this is my world.
Right.
It's like, it's the world that I have in my head. Because like, okay, like being an only child,
right,
I'm always daydreaming.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm always just like daydreaming and kind of like just thinking.
Can I ask you a random question?
Go for it.
Did you have like an imaginary friend or like a voice in your head, like from a young age? Because I mean, like I feel like you have to develop that. I feel like at a young age, like you're like I'm like now learning how crazy I am, and I'll like say something and then I'll respond in my head. You know, like, and I'm like, oh, as long as I keep it in my head, I think I'm okay. But once we start talking
to yourself, like out loud to yourself,
dude, that's when you're proper insane. You're
like,
just like,
oh, take them to the ward.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, I did. Yeah, like, like it's like, who else? Like yeah, you like.
Yeah,
so it's like, but that's like 90% of it. I would just live in my own world. Like I would just like. Maybe that's why I would fall asleep. I get bored, so I'd be like just daydream in my head. Like, oh, this would look cool on a t-shirt. Oh, like this, and this. Like,
did you ever did you start like from those like thoughts? Did you start like putting them down on paper? Or, like,
I like writing stuff down.
Oh, okay.
I personally like writing stuff down. Like, I'm not really like not tech savvy, but like I prefer to write stuff down because for me then it feels real. Like then it feels like okay.
Right.
Like
I used to journal a lot, so yeah, I completely understand.
Like I have like in my always like either a sketchbook, either just to like write down the idea of like, oh, this may look sick, or I try like do a shitty ass sketch because I can't draw for shit. But I was like, okay, this is kind of like what I want to do. And then like I remember once we called it Ivan's World, it was easier because that's not a box. In theory, like it was easier like what's happening in my current life. Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? What am I feeling bright? Am I feeling like very like dark? Like it's like with that I don't really have like a certain box I gotta like keep it under. Right. So then I'll just like release stuff. I was like, okay, this is sick. I'll release this. Do the shoot blank. Oh, this is how I've been feeling lately.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like from the jump, like I kind of felt away a little bit when you did drop, and it was like how sad it was. Yeah. Just because I was just like, dude, that's our baby. Like, dude, like, what are we doing?
And it's because people don't like I would always pretend to be happy. That's the thing. Right. Like I would always pretend to be happy and like chirpier. And since I was like young, like during that time, I felt I was the youngest one. Like I was like probably I really was like a kid compared to like I was like 17 when
everyone was like 20, 21, 23. You know,
so I was like a literal kid, and like everyone's like, oh, he's so happy and go lucky. And like deep down, I was like, dude, I'm so insecure and sad, and like. I just don't want to tell no one because it's like I don't want to ruin the vibe. Right.
Yeah, and that to me was just like I like to me like I see some artists where they'll say a lot in their art but won't say anything in person. So like that's when I feel I take it upon myself where I like reach out, you know. But then like sometimes like because an artist is an artist, they can just play it off as like that's how I was feeling like a week ago. Like don't worry about it. And I was just like, dog, but like
no, you're actually going through it. You're going through it.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, like so like I when I saw that and I didn't know anything, I was like, oh shit, like what are we doing wrong? Like, because from a third party perspective, like you're going to UCLA, you're doing all this other stuff, like you like the relationship that you have with your mom is so special. So like it like just things like that where I'm like, dude, I mean like
what's wrong? What's going wrong?
Yeah. So and like like at that time, what exactly was like kind of going on, or would you even like to explain?
Oh, it's not bad. It was just like for me, it was mostly like just insecurity. Like
was it like
within my own self?
or?
It was like external. It was like mostly my acne shit. Like and I'm like very open about it. Like I used to have hella bad acne.
Right.
Like you knew me when all that shit was like bad and it was just to the point where I was like it hurt my face. I felt like everyone would see it, even though like now I know like people really didn't give a fuck. Like they're like, oh, we like you for you, not for your acne or like this or that, or like or we don't feel bad for you and we're talking to you because of this and that. But I just felt so like insecure. I'm like, I hate myself. Like I'm like shit. Like I know it's like I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I never felt comfortable. I was like, oh shit. Like so then like during that time I was like, that was literally the feeling of like, yo, like I just hate my like how I look.
Would you, I mean, obviously like people always saw you super happy, but would you say that you had like social anxiety like at that point? Or was it just the internal like thoughts, if that makes sense?
I think it was internal thoughts probably.
Okay.
Because I was always good around people.
Right.
Like around people, like I've always been pretty good where I'm like chirpy and like I can talk to like bring anyone into the room like and you introduce me to them. Like I don't just go up to random people, but like
but like my therapist would say that that's you covering up for whatever the fuck you know is going on.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like kind of like now having a conversation with you that kind of like makes a little more sense. Yeah. You know, which is cool. It's sad but cool.
No, it's great.
But, right. Like it's just nice to like because me personally when I was at Phil's was like my lowest. For sure. Like I was living on my own and blah blah blah, but like that was my lowest and I was just like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. But I was like 22 also, like 22, 23. So it was like I shouldn't have even thought that like I would know what the fuck the world is, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I like to get off of like me, what did you do to kind of like help you throughout that time? Like especially when you were out there in SoCal. Like when you were kind of like by yourself, like yeah, you had friends or whatever, you probably made friends, but like you were still like by yourself, like without your core group, you know.
I think the release of clothes will help me a lot because there's like a certain bit of is it serotonin or dopamine? I like when someone cops your shit,
right?
Where you're like, oh fuck, that feels really good, or like just getting it out there,
right?
Because like people see it, like or like you're like oh shit, like he was going through that, like oh shit, but like. It's like a thing like finally being able to get the art out
right
and trying to show people like oh this is but like it was like I was just like for me I'm very like independent where like I'm like I gotta like find a way to fix this like and I'm not really the person who tries like to use external stuff like I try to find it in myself. Like I've never been to a therapist but like I try to find it like in myself like why am I feeling this way like what steps can I do to like figure out this situation. Like, because it was just, like, insecurity. So I was like, okay, like, I'm insecure about, like, how my face looks. Wait, what can I do? All right. I got on Accutane, was on that shit for, like, hella months. That cleared up 90% of it. Yeah, I still, like, break out, but I've learned to, like, one breakout isn't going to kill me.
Right.
Like, it's, like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Began working out a lot.
Yeah.
Lost mad weight. Like, I feel like a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, shit, you do not look like the kid we met when I was, like... And, like, I think just building overall confidence within myself was the thing.
The one thing I would say, honestly, what genuinely like hypes me up a little bit is the fact that, like you said, you took it upon yourself and was like, I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? These are the things. I'm going to try and do those, like correct all those things. And then like you, even if it didn't bring you complete, it's not going to bring you complete happiness, right? Because then all of a sudden now your face is clear. Now all of a sudden you have more girls in your DMs and that's a problem.
And that's a stress.
You know,
that turns
that's
into
a problem.
But see, the thing is like, back then I would think in my head like one of my sisters was like, dang, like no one finds me attractive, like none of these girls find me attractive, da, da. And then like I find out like years later like, oh, we always thought you were cute, you just never like talked to us, or like we didn't find like.
But that's the confidence came in.
And that was where the confidence, like it was just self-confidence. I was like, oh, they never gave a fuck about this whole acne shit. It was just a like a me thing.
Right.
Where it was like I'm just going through it like da da da, like I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And now I figured it out, and like the confidence of I can actually like look at you in the eyes, like without like being like tripping out or anything. It's like, oh shit, like I can actually like see a person. Like,
yeah.
I was so bad looking at people in the eyes. I was always so terrified, or like just talking to people, talking to girls especially. I would not like.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, oh, they probably think I'm ugly.
Yeah.
And it was like it's the dumbest shit ever. Where like I'm like fuck, like thankful like that I helped build my like confidence. But like some people who met me during that time, they're like, oh, it looks like you have an ego. Like you became all this. Like you think you're all that. And I'm like, I was like, if you knew how like insecure I was, like
yeah.
I was like, and like I would ask, like that fucked me up. Like I think it was like December 2020. Like an old friend, like, well, like they're not my friend anymore, but like they're like, yo, you turn to a person where it's like, I don't know if it's confidence or it's like you're just turned to like you got such a big ego. And I'm like, and like it fucked me up because I was like, damn, dude, like am I a piece of shit? Like so I started texting like friends. I'm like, yo, like am I like egotistical, or is it like, or like narcissistic? I was like one of those, and she like, they're like, no, like you just finally were able to build confidence that you were lacking.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you used to be like so unconfident in yourself, and now you like built it where you're like, oh shit, like I believe in myself. Like I think I can do anything now. Like it's like they're like, you didn't have that, and I think some people see it now. They're like, oh, you're not this.
That's shitty that a friend would be like, hey, like your light is shining too bright. Like it's bumming me out.
But then I feel like at that it's a them problem, because it's
exactly.
They're like, oh, I don't know where my life's going. Like what the fuck's happening with my life?
That's
like
shitty.
Da da da. Like, and I'm like right. Yeah, it helped me. Like I was like, dang, do I gotta check myself? And then like, but I was like, it did make me feel like damn, like I wish you could find that light for yourself, where you feel that you can do anything, where you can like be anything, that you feel great, and like da da like try to find improvement. Cause I was like, dang, like if that's what you're like, cause it felt like it was more of them problem than a me problem.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I've definitely like have had friends, and like will in the future have friends where like I will project my own insecurities
on them
for whatever reason, and that's not on like a jealousy thing. That's just like on a human mindset, being like, well, like why the fuck is that not happening to me?
Like why don't I feel good about myself?
Yeah,
like,
like, and it's just like, and like that's just like a moment, that happens, but it's not how I feel, but like that will happen,
especially if they like the person that you were before. They're like, oh, you were that sad kid, and it's like now you're starting to shine. Like,
right.
I liked you more when you were that sad kid.
It's always like, oh, I knew that artist first, like I liked them when they were playing at fucking The Catalyst. Now they're playing, like Shoreline and like
Solid
whatever.
I was like
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's insane, but
yeah, it's like that's what I think. That's what like growing confidence, like that's what makes me like not give a fuck about like getting a tattoo, painting my hair, releasing clothes. It's like being confident within yourself. Right. And even sometimes like I don't feel confident every day. Like so I'm like, damn, like look how I look. I'm like shit. But then I'm like, you know what? Like fuck it.
Yeah.
This is what God gave me, or what my parents gave me. Rock out.
Yeah, rock out with your cock out. Speaking of cocks, I need to go pee.
All right. Go for it.
Yo, I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is going on? Right now, I just want to give a shout out to some of the shows that I'll be probably seen at, probably in the back room doing some caterer stuff. On Friday, October 28th, this Friday, you can probably catch me at F8 with Sizak headlining for Tall Doors and our homies Crash Course. And we have our homies Mind Frequency hosting something in the back. And then you can probably catch me Saturday, the 29th at Neck of the Woods with my bestie Fabian, aka Funkbot, hosting a disco night downstairs with an RB night happening upstairs. So wear your funkiest costume, spookiest costume, and I'll see you there. And on November 5th, you can probably catch me at Halcyon supporting my girl Tiana. She's gonna be opening up for Andres Henningberg. I don't know who he is, but he sounds tight. So you can catch me there, getting down. She's opening up, and yeah. let's get back to the show, and you'll learn about Ivan and his romance.
Yeah, we're talking about how Phil's became very corporate.
Phil's?
Or almost like any coffee shop.
Like the Buffalo Wild Wing guy or something like that.
Is it?
That's kind of crazy, huh?
It's like some big guy who has
Rick Ross in there. Rick Ross.
No, that's
fucking-
Wingstop.
Oh,
That's
that's
Wingstop.
Wingstop.
That's
He
Wingstop.
used to be the old Buffalo Wild Wing CEO, and then he moved over to Phil's or something like that. I don't know how. Fidel was telling me about it, and he was just like, just telling me that it's all just like there's no more you call people up anymore. It's just they go.
Oh yeah, no, I went there. I was I did like my last like estimate at for this restaurant, and then I went into Forest, and then
That
like,
was crazy, dude. That was a vibe.
Yeah, dude, Forest was a different fucking. It was an alleyway for coffee.
No, dude, it was like honestly like so like because I started off with y'all at Coop while we were opening Coop Main.
Yeah.
When the Coop Main situation where I wanted to become shift lead didn't happen. When the Forest was fucking reckless, bro.
Really?
Because like
we had the liquor
they
store,
didn't-
too?
dude, okay, because like okay, no, they didn't give a fuck. Middlefield did not give a fuck either. Like Middlefield was like, that was like the like y'all just didn't give a flying fuck. Like it was the same 8 people. Everyone was like, there's always like cat drama. 3 guys always worked there and like 20 girls. The girls were always low key drama with each other.
It was me, Will, and
Ian. And like, what was the other food? Not Renji. Renji was it like
Reggie was there. He was the manager.
Renji? But
And then what was his
no, he
other
wasn't.
homie?
The other
His
homie. The other homie.
Oh,
His two homies.
fucking.
Was it Mark? Mark. It was like the same 4 people. It was the same 4 guys, and they just always
Dude,
had to
I
deal
would
with
love
the
to
woman.
have Mark on a podcast. Like he
Mark was
used to
cool.
work for Apple or whatever, and then got hella stock, and then him and his wife fucking sold their stock, and then that's why he's just like, oh, I'm just like he's a barista not by choice,
Just for vibes.
just for vibes. Like
No,
imagine
they
being-
loaded. They had like a crazy house in the hills. Like no, but like Highway 9 hills, like those type of hills, like up there, like
Do you need a
caught on
beer at
fire.
all
No,
or
we-
anything?
No,
Oh,
we good.
okay, cool.
No, but yeah, like no, dude, like Phil's became but Forest was different from Middlefield because Middlefield just like everyone didn't give a fuck, but Forest was like didn't give a fuck. But like when I was there, like I was a shift lead, dude. I was like 19, bro, telling these grown ass adults what to do, and these fools were all turned the fuck up.
Yeah.
And in like mad like I ain't gonna say names, but like mad drugs. Everybody was fucking each other. It
What does
was
it rhyme with? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. But you know though.
I mean, yeah,
We all know. we all know who it was. But yeah, it was just like crazy. Cause I'm like at this point I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, dude, like as long as y'all get this shit over with, like the shift over, I don't give a fuck. Let's go home. Like I was like, that's all I cared about, like just finishing the shift. But I was like, people
That
were
sounds crazy, dude. That
Dude,
sounds like chaos.
it was chaos. And like they tried to structure it, but like Forest and like Middlefield, you can only structure it so much. At least I had a good structure though.
Dude,
Plus, it was busy,
I
right?
fucking yeah. It was like that was the. I mean, we also closed early, so like it was. I don't know. It was fucking tight because it was like super local, like for locals only. But they would come out fucking every single day on the dot, like right at.
That was
6.
like real regular shit.
Yeah, it was real regular.
Forest was
It felt
different.
it felt like Cheers.
Oh shit!
It felt like Cheers. We're
Every
like
time I go there, pick a product, it looked pretty sick when I'd walk in there. And
Yeah.
it was always busy.
It was always
Yeah.
family. It was
but
family
also
oriented.
it's like going to a small bar on a good night where you're like, oh shit, like it's popping
Yeah,
tonight,
it just
you know.
seems like everyone was talking to each other. I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
Dude, I
Yeah.
think I did like my first.
But there's
week
only
there.
literally 6 people in the building, you know. Like it's so small.
Yeah, it's a tiny little building, but
Yeah,
Dude, I think it was like me,
popping.
this fool, Ian, and Will. It was like my first time working at that store. The manager at that time was on a date. Like they're having a coffee date.
Oh my god,
These motherfuckers had me like we were like doing like looking at her like just like fucking with her, and she would look at us and laugh. And she just like left. Like she's like, yo, let's go somewhere else because these 4 fuckers are just like.
Dude, that tickled my brain.
Because you remember that shit,
so,
dude. It was like my first time
Dude,
seeing this
holy
one like
shit.
hella years too. I didn't see them in
Yeah.
hella days.
Dude, and yeah, and like, and the way that Will and Ian are just like, if you're the new guy, you're the new guy, you know,
Yeah.
like, and so like it was just hella funny.
And he brought me because he knew me. He was like, I had an in. Like they're
Yeah.
like, oh, like
Yeah.
he's chill. Like,
Because
fuck it.
dude, when I got there, like they were like, oh, you're doing all the like trashes always. You're doing
Maths,
you know,
like
yeah.
you're the grunt. Like,
Yeah.
and which just makes sense. You gotta earn your stripes. so,
Right,
like, you
right,
gotta
right.
earn
But it
your
was also
stripes.
cool. Like to me, that's what it felt like. I was like, all right, this is how it is, and this is what we're doing. We're the only guys. Like, there's only like 4. There's literally only like 5.
And
guys
there's
on the schedule.
there's rarely ever guy drama.
No.
Yeah, no, because we're dude. Honestly, I mean,
for guys, it's only two things that ever cause drama: either money or a girl.
Our girl.
it's always a girl. At Phil's,
And
it's
it's
a
always
girl.
it
At Phil's,
dude,
it's a
even
girl.
right now in my life, it's been a girl. Like
Really?
it's like, dude, oh, fuck. Like,
Dude, okay, so speaking of
Back
girls,
to
then,
it.
so speaking of girls and what we were talking about earlier, being confidence, how has been the dating scene for you, my good friend?
it's been better.
Yeah,
It's been way better.
Yeah?
Because I feel like
you're out there slanging that.
not, not even that. It's just more like even if it's like you're not trying to like sleep with them, it's just like, oh shit, like I actually I'm not scared to talk to you.
Right, dude. If I mean,
That's the
yeah,
thing. It was like
it feels like you got a chance.
it's like yeah. And the thing is, in LA, like dude, you can score crazy just off personality.
Really?
There's some ugly ass fool with some beautiful ass women.
Yeah, but how many followers does he have?
That depends though. That depends. No, that depends because some like it may be the following or it just maybe like a little bit of a mix of a following with like personality. Because like not all these fools got like just because they got followers does not mean they got money.
Right.
A lot
Well,
of
it's because they're not doing it right.
They're not. No, it honestly,
You
it's
know?
a mix.
Like,
They're not,
yeah.
not the right representation.
Right.
How they're viewed on the internet is kind of just like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
you're
it's,
kind of a
it's hard
dickhead.
to get Target to sponsor you when you're fucking out here like boom gang or whatever.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you're like being a fucking
Like,
dickhead. Like
yeah.
it's like that's the thing. It's, I think like people don't know how much like in LA or like over here, mostly anywhere, like just being someone people would like to work with is so because you'd rather like out of two people like if one person's like very like a lot to deal with but like they're really skilled. It's very rare. They're like we rather choose the person who's like maybe not as skilled as them, but they're easy to work in a team with because it just like works meshes well.
Mhm.
And it's not even because you're a follower, but it's because you're a easier person to work with.
Right. Yeah, the wheel will spin faster if you're well rounded.
Yeah.
Than if you're focused at a point. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
but like dating scene like shit. Yeah.
Right.
Stock went up. Stock went
Yeah.
up once you find a little bit of confidence, and I feel like that and like I think just like the evolution of me like dressing to more how I like how like my body is and all that stuff has been like very
Right.
good.
Yeah. I mean that's cool.
Also, I had like
But-
I had like Will in them. They were teaching me, bro. Like, well, now when I still was mad, unconfident, they were just telling me like, look at them in the eyes, like all that type of shit.
Right, but that's also how you should interact with any human being.
But that,
you know,
dude. But
That's,
okay,
like,
but
the
think about
one
it.
thing.
If you're not confident within yourself, like you ain't looking at someone in the eyes.
For sure.
I'm looking everywhere
okay,
but your
honestly,
eyes.
this is a good conversation because as a guy, genuinely, you don't get your confidence until you get approval from the opposite sex
Yes.
and or the same sex if that's how you roll because that's okay. But
Love whoever you love.
yeah. But like that's the first time when you're like, oh shit, like okay, like cool, like what I'm doing is cool. Like now I'm not playing with Power Rangers, I'm playing soccer or I'm doing this or like I'm a singer, I'm a dancer because I got one like nod from the person who I kind of have feelings for.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's
and-
just like a little. You're like, oh shit, like dang, she had a crush on me. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
right.
Where you're like, oh shit, I never in my head thought like she'd find me attractive. I'm like, oh fuck, like damn, like I should probably believe in myself a little bit more.
Mm.
And like it's like small stuff. Like you're right. It's like a little like oh shit, like a head nod, like oh fuck,
Yeah, like you're moving in the right direction type shit.
Yeah, it's
whatever that direction is, you know.
like wherever you're like literally is. And I think that's like being more confident and like you're like oh shit, like fuck. Not like you can get with anyone, but like you're like oh shit, like
Yeah, you at least have a fucking fighting chance.
you
know?
have a chance.
Yeah,
And I
but-
think like since I was in my head, I feel like I glowed up.
Right.
I always felt like that. Back then I used to actually like you had to develop a personality because I was like, damn, I wasn't like I didn't consider myself the most attractive person, so I was like, shit, like what do I have? What are my assets? Personality. I'm chirpy. People kind of like someone who's like not always like sad and like da like I'm sometimes
Right.
like like
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I definitely grew into the sad boy phase.
Well, no,
Like-
we all have sad boy faces.
Yeah. No. But mine has been like a couple of years too long. But no, like speaking of like confidence and the growth of confidence, with the brand, to go back to that, like, do you feel like more confident every time you do drop for a new season? Like, and do you feel confident that like each time it is getting better? So you're just like, yeah, like this is who I am like now, you know, like, and like walk me through like the kind of mind process or the process of like just like like the act of creating something and then the act of actually dropping, because those are two different parts of the brain that you're using.
Yeah. So every time I drop stuff, there's always that anxiety, like, oh shit, like, what if no one likes it? But then, like, because, like, I do show a couple people what I'm, like, kind of creating, kind of what the mood boards are.
I was
like,
listening to a mix that I did today, literally on my way over here, just to listen to it.
Yeah, and it's like, because you want to, like, dang, because, like, you can find it sick, but maybe someone else won't find it sick.
Right.
So, like, my roommate, perfect example, I'm like, yo, like, these are, like, kind of where, like, directions going, da-da-da. He's like, oh, shit, like, these three are kind of hard. This one, I feel like you got to fix some parts and, like, it'll look better, like, da-da-da, because, like, maybe it's too, like, the way the graphic is too small for like that piece. And like I feel like now with like Ortem it's been easier because like I'm trying to like the stuff costs more. I've made the hoodies cost like 85 and the t-shirts cost 45, but it's because the blanks I'm using, one, they're made in the US, and two, they're really good quality. And I would rather people pay 45 or 85 for the hoodies if it's a good quality thing, because then they can actually have it for years. Like I'd heard someone like,
I still have the sweater that I bought from you.
Yeah, and even then I just got a better one. Like these ones are thicker, stronger, like heavier, and like. But that's the thing, like they last, and like it's like I want people to be able to last. Like I've heard of other people that are like, damn, they made me pay the same price, but the quality's like shit. And like after 2 washes they shrink, and it's like, bro, like yeah, and I'm like bullshit. Like it's like, and it's like, dude, like if I want people spending like because like 45 isn't cheap for a t-shirt, like it's like average price for like if you go for a tour t-shirt or like stuff like that, but like for just like a normal like streetwear brand, like unless it's like Supreme and shit like that, it's like it's very like it's a more costly thing.
Oh, this is a fun question. Okay, so I'm a DJ, right?
Yes.
Or an event promoter.
Yes.
My tickets are $15, right? Yes, I have events happening maybe twice a month, so that's $30, right? So like, do you like, okay, as a homie, right? Like, trying to like support.
You
support, right?
You
and
have
like,
to support. Like, I feel like that's like the biggest thing. It's like, you're like, if you're a friend, if you can support.
Right. Because for me, I have to put people on guest lists if I want them to show up, if I have a show. And that's shitty. So fuck you. But like, for you, do you have the same issue with people trying to like friends
get free shit? Like they want free shit. It's always an awkward conversation. Like it's not awkward,
right?
Because it's like,
is it like, oh, they comment like, oh, this is hard, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah.
You hit them up. You're like, yo, you want one? And they're like, oh, damn, 40. Like it's like,
yeah,
and it's like, yeah, but like,
no, I think that's happened to me before, but like I think it was because the way he worded it was just like, oh, do you want one? No conversation about like money or anything, and I was just like, oh, for the free, and he was just like, no. I was like, oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
And like it was just the way you worded it made it feel like I won a raffle or something.
Like,
you know?
And it's always like and it's like awkward because it's like shit. Like I have homies, they throw events like back in LA, and I'm like, I'll show up. Like sometimes like most of them they don't charge, but they like drinks. You pay for the drinks and stuff like that. So like, but it's like if I can, I will. Right. Because it's like that support, and like I'll post it like da da da, because like you never know who's watching it. Yeah. And if you can, why won't you? Like for me, like if I have to like years ago, I think I released something, and one of those people that was like used to be a friend, I was like, yo, like, can you post it? And then in my head, I was like, I probably shouldn't be asking you to like, you should probably like, dang, I would like for them to succeed, because like you don't have to buy it, like, because I understand sometimes like people can't afford it, like you got bills, you got this, you got that, like maybe I'm not this week, like, yo, I just paid all my rent, I paid this, like I don't got it like that. Understandable. Give me 2 weeks once I get paid, I got you. And I'm like, all right, cool, like da da. But like just the support of like, yo, I'll repost it. You don't know who's gonna see it. Right. Like you don't know who's gonna see it. You don't know if that like it's such a simple thing that takes 3 seconds. Yeah. That takes 3 seconds, just a simple repost. Like for me, that means that like, oh shit, like, and if I didn't have to ask you, because I was like in my head, I was like, if I asked you for one, and this was years ago with that friend, I was like, I was like, yo, dude, if I have to ask you, like, I feel kind of like just like weird, because I feel like you should just like off the cuff, just like, oh shit. Right. And I like his shit. Even if you don't like my shit, just do it. Like, fuck it. Like, just for like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about like this little project, because this is the first project where it's just me and Matt, you know? Yeah. There's just me and one other person versus me and a whole fucking team
I mean, a whole being like 5 other people, but like still, like, but like, you know, it was just like, it's a little different where it's just like, it's me and him. I have more followers, and that's just a happenstake type thing. So it's just like, I'm the one who has to be promoting this for the most part. And like, there's not a lot of people who will repost a clip because it's kind of weird, you know.
But still, like, I feel like you should.
Right, but like it's like my thing right now is like I'm trying to get like as many people on here as possible, obviously.
Yeah.
But like we drop twice, like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how often do you think I'm like just sitting in front of a mic, you know? And then people are getting like fucking heated for no reason.
Why? Because they're not invited, or because
they feel like they're not a part of it? But it's just like, you're also like, you're not a part of it, you know? Like, and it's not like a shot. It's like, you're not a part of it until you're in front of me. Yeah. And like, now we're booked until the end of the year. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all. But yeah, it's fun, and like hopefully we're gonna go weekly. So and then once that happens, it's like it's more work. Once we see if it's working, you know, like I don't want to do this like every single week if it's not working. Yeah. And like I think it's been a fun project so far. Yeah. But yeah, that's been my one thing. With this little thing, but with you get support via like I think mostly, and the only way that you get any sort of advertising is if people post, like
share it. Share it. People.
That's the only way that you can do it outside of your account.
Yeah, because like I'm not like.
Like you're not on YouTube, you're not on TikTok. I mean, you should be on TikTok.
I have TikTok, but like it's my own TikTok. It's like, and I'll post stuff like some small stuff, and it'll be like a couple hundred views. Like it's like TikTok's algorithm's so weird, but it's like I don't have the money to do like those like billboard ads.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's when you use your TikTok. Yeah, dude, I'm like honestly like. I'm so annoying online, and I'm so thankful for all of my followers. No, same. Thank you. But like, I'm so fucking annoying, and I know that. But that's only because I understand what the fucking algorithm is, you know.
And it's the thing, people don't like, either they don't understand or they do, and they're just like, like I ain't trying to see that.
Right, and it's just like,
just mute me, fuck it.
Right, and I would much rather you mute me and then like fucking be like, oh, this guy's a fucking annoying, like self-centered ass person. It was like, no, because this whole thing is not.
Why is he always posting his brand? Like
it's not even about like me. This thing is not even about me necessarily. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you some fun stories about me, but like outside of that, it's about the person who's in front of me, you know, and like, it's.
But yeah, mostly social media. That's like that, like, and that's really only like real place to be like yeah, we can do Facebook, like stuff like that, and like.
Do you promote on Facebook?
Yeah, I have my marketing team, aka my mom. She runs my Facebook. Yo, my mom, she known in these Facebook streets, bro. She be killing that shit. Like I don't know what she be doing. No, but like she posts my shit. She posts enough of my shit to like in her Facebook. Where like she has all the tías like, ay, me gusta mucho lo que hace tu hijo, and it's like my family support for me has like been really big. Like thankfully, like I did my pop up in the Bay. They all came. My mom came with my aunt. Like all my little cousins came. Like
before I like forget this. Like, do you think like because you're the only child, your entire family will always view you as kind of the baby of a family? If that makes sense.
In a sense, like my parents, like my mom's always gonna see me as her baby.
No,
like,
for sure. That's any
like
parent.
that.
Though. That's any parent. Like,
I think.
Do you think that you get that from your external family a little bit? Like, we gotta support this.
Like, you know? Yeah, kind of.
Right? Because like you're kind of like everyone's. Because I felt that like I didn't have my sister until like I was like 4 years old. So like for those beginning 4 years, like I was pretty much like the only child. Yeah. So I felt like I was raised by everyone who was there. So I felt like I was everyone's practice run.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The first child's always the practice run, though.
Right. And I was the only child.
Yeah.
Like, the only child in any of the families now, you know? So it was just, like, really weird where, like, everyone was kind of taking a turn on, like...
See, I'm in a weird medium where it's, like, I have cousins who are, like, 45. Mm-hmm. And they're, like, older than my youngest aunt.
That's crazy.
Which is fucking crazy.
That's so brown of us.
But then my grandma had, like, 11 kids. Like, grandma had 11 kids, like, by some were 18 and, like, the other ones were barely being born. Like, but, like, it's, like... And then I have cousins who are like in middle school right now, and I'm like, okay, like I'm in a weird like kind of middle ground where it's like,
Yeah.
you're not the old, you're like I lean more toward the younger one.
You're like the oldest. You're the oldest, youngest person.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like,
But-
except for my sister, who's a little bit older than me, but
Yeah.
like even my sister, she has 3 kids, so she feels like she's fucking 45.
She gone.
now.
She gone out of here.
Like that's how, like, you know. But like at like it's like, yeah, I'm the oldest, youngest one. Where like all the little cousins follow me, and that's fine.
Dude, they
And
follow me.
see
My
this.
cousin saw me post some dumb shit, like on my close friends. And she's like, oh my god, like, and she's like in high school, and I was like, I took her off. I was like, yeah, like I gotta set a boundary where it's like I can't, cause like I know you're not gonna snitch, but then if you post some crazy shit on your close friends and I see it, I'm gonna feel like a little more like, yo, like I should probably tell my aunt, like, is she doing some stupid ass shit?
Oh, so you're the snitch.
Nah, dude, cause like okay,
Man.
I don't want to, but like, dude, I'm like I'll hide most secrets. I'm like, okay, like, but like I'm like, dude, like,
What is da da da?
like I've seen them do some dumb ass shit, but no, I don't. I've never done it because I'm like, not because I don't want to lose that cousin trust, but it's because like in my head I was like, we should, someone gotta tell a parent,
Right.
Because in my head I was like I'm not that, like, I'm like 24, so it's like I'm not like crazy old, but it's like I'm older than them where I'm like, they should probably be like,
Yeah.
like so then if that happens, like I just text them like, yo, like,
But why don't you take it upon? I mean, yes, you live far away. And
Oh no, I text them. I'm like, yo, what the fuck
be
are you
the
doing?
big bro and be
What the
like,
fuck are
yo,
you
what are
doing?
you doing? You're the you are the stopping point.
Yeah.
Not
Like I text, yeah, I know. That's
You
why I
know?
don't. That's why I
Don't be the
call.
snitch,
That's
'cause,
why I
like,
don't call. Hey, but in my head, I was like, I want to call, but I know I shouldn't.
because like I
it's
mean I'm just saying because I'm like, okay, like how many stories you maybe less than me for sure, but
I was also-
how many
I-
stories like do you have where you're like, oh fuck,
I
like,
could have died,
yeah, something could have happened.
dude. I've thought about,
you know?
like, we went to a party once near fucking Raging Waters in high school. Some fool brought out a gun, bro,
Yeah, I've been to parties like that.
and in my head I was like, dude, like, like in my head I was like, that's this. After that, I never went to a party over there. I was like, we good off that. Like, I'll stick to the rich, affluent white kids of like Sunnyvale, Mountain View, like
Oh,
Cupertino.
yeah.
Like, I'll stick over there. Like, we good off that, chief. Like, we.
Yeah.
No. Those kids be crazy as fuck though. I remember some white kids
White
from Mountain
kids?
View.
Dude.
So crazy kids from Mountain View High School broke into a fucking house that was like for sale in Mountain View, bro. They broke into that shit. Dude, through a
Okay,
rager.
this
No,
has
no,
already
wait, no.
this has already been settled. This has already been settled in court and everything.
Dude, I was
but those
virgin.
kids, but dude,
I think I was virgin.
okay,
Oh my God.
okay. Don't put yourself
Don't
in court. Don't
incriminate
incriminate yourself at
Don't
all.
do it.
Pero like,
Okay. Bleep the name.
no, but like straight up, like, dude, I went to the high school. I went to a continuation high school, as I mentioned earlier. But like, I went to a continuation high school where all these white kids from Los Altos and Mountain View would go, and they're so rich, but they're so barred out for real. Like the opiate addiction started then, and yeah, like it literally like. They pretty much went into a homie's house and fucking had a week-long rager and ended up to hide evidence. I think that's what the story is. They burned down the house.
Dude, okay, ours wasn't that.
What?
Ours wasn't
That's
that.
what like
Like we showed up to the party. We're like, oh, it's in a nice.
We're in
it's in the
high
rich
school.
No, it's okay. But also think about it, like those suburbs. There's no lights on that street. So we pulled up. I was like, oh, this shit lit.
dude,
Like,
they took the Porsche.
okay.
This is all on record, by the way.
But,
Like, I'm not saying anything.
So the party I showed
Like-
up to was like senior year of high school, and like we showed up and like we parked like 2 blocks away. 'cause,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but I wasn't the one who broke in. That was some white kids. Allegedly, they broke in. Hey, nah. Hey, I went out. Hey, I just went out. Cause in my head, I didn't know that. I just thought I was going. I thought I was showing up to some house party.
Yeah.
I was like, we're used to showing up to like rich kids' house parties and like it just being chill. I don't know. We're just there and like these like white kids are like first they're doing a mosh pit in the kitchen.
Right.
There's like 50 of them like raging on a like just like doing a little mosh pit. They started jumping on tables, and I'm like over here like what the fuck is happening? Because I'm just like with my like homestead group, and I'm like all the little Latino kids were like, what the fuck is like happening
Dude.
here? And then like I don't know, cops just start showing up. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Probably someone like called did it. We saw that you guys broke into this house for sale. I was like, who the fuck did this?
Yeah.
I was like, oh nah. I was like, I was like, we got invited by the same white kid. Oh, dude, like lights start shutting, like cops are breaking in. Everyone's running. Like it turns into like we run into my car, like because I wasn't even drinking. I was just there to be there. I was like, shit, I don't want to be stuck at home. got on the car. My old Jeep took 2 tries to turn on, so it took me 2 tries to turn that shit on. We're driving out, and like cops are like chasing fools out. These 2 random white kids like, please, like, can you drop us off at our car? It's like 3 blocks away. We don't want to get. Like, yeah, hop in the fucking car. We dropped them off, and they're like, yeah, that shit crazy. Like, we didn't know like the kids broke into. And we're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, they like allegedly broke into that house. And I was like, oh nah, bro. I saw that shit on like on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like a couple days later, like 4 teenagers from the local high school broke into it to throw a house party. I'm like,
Yeah. Dude, that shit was insane, dude.
and I saw a lot of
no, but
2 wild
no, dude.
stories.
No, straight up, like it, like my high school was like a senior year was a lot like Euphoria. Like there's this kid, like literally, legitimately, fucking like passed out in the middle of class because of how many bars he took. Like he took so much Xanax that he passed out in class.
Yeah.
And the ambulance came and all this shit. Like, I mean, my school was a continuation school, so like, you know, most of the girls were pregnant, which is not like, it's not a shot at you. It's not a shot at all. But like, you know, like some of them were pregnant or whatever. So it was just like very like, you know, there was a kid who was driving around in like a Tesla at the continuation school where kids would like 50% of the class would go on the bus.
Yeah.
And this one Asian kid from Palo Alto was driving around in a Tesla, but it was sick because I rode in it. So shout out to you, my guy.
No, dude, that should be crazy because like a lot of these, dude, like okay, so there were some parties we never got invited to because, you know, like we were the brown kids, so they're like my high school was like maybe 10%. You feel me? They didn't want like the ghetto-ness at the party. You feel me? Like they're like, oh yeah,
don't invite Ivan for the ghetto.
Yeah, like, and I'm okay, but like, which is like the funniest thing ever because I'm like, dude, if you knew that in our community we're mad whitewashed, like I find it the funniest. Like, dude, I'm like it's like 4 of them, my cousins. We're all like the little RC cousins. I got like tattoos.
Dude, I can
like,
see my ankles right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're different.
like you show up to the family party, you see my cousins, then you see me, and you're like, oh, you can tell he the different one. Like he like the little artsy one that like into clothes and like like, so but you know them like they're like, oh, they've never hung out like Latinos and shit. Like, so they think like automatically brown, like, oh, ghetto, and like they wouldn't invite us to their parties. But when we throw one, they'd be like, "Where's the invite?" We're like, it's like lost the same way we never got yours, like,
right.
But it was like, but yeah, those white kids be crazy as fuck, bro.
I think it's and it's not a privilege thing. It's not a privilege thing. It's
but they also
anything.
do different type of drugs though.
That's what I'm saying. They have access to different types of drugs.
Because
dude, if you go to a hood party, it's gonna be Hennessy and marijuana and maybe some tobacco.
Max.
And coke.
Maybe
for sure.
Maybe sometimes not all of them. That's
no. I mean, not all of them, but like if the fucking
if it's there,
if it's there, it's there. Because,
yeah, they
but
do,
like
yeah.
But with white kids, it's like there's coke. There's hella
coke is
prescription.
coke is their weed. It's just there.
Yeah. It's just there. But like, dude, hella prescription drugs. Like
yes, anyone you
want. Dude, they were dude. They were living like Juice World, like straight up, and it's like insane and kind of sad to watch sometimes. As just like a, you know, like for me, as a human, because it literally, dude, I mean, they would look like they were like, you know, when you see like a homeless person kind of strung out,
yeah,
it would look like that, but just on a nice ass fucking $1 million home.
Yeah,
and it was just like, dude, you're the same person as that person, you know, like there's no difference outside of like your parents. What they do, you know, and it's kind of really sad.
Like I told my mom once because she was like, oh, like she'd be like, oh, like if I hung out with my wife, my white friends, she'd be like, oh, like have a blast, like go till midnight. But like it's like if I hung out with my Latino, she's like, oh, like be home at 10, like 10. Da, da, da. And I was like, Mom, like I'll be honest with you, these white kids be way worse than us. You just don't know it, or you think they're good because in your head you're like, oh, they more affluent, so that means they're like. They act well. I'm like, Mom, like these fools do way worse drugs than Latinos. Like you're right. It's like Latinos.
Dude, in the hood, you'll never see someone be like, I'm gonna eat mushrooms tonight. Like, never see that. Like never see. Beer. Yeah, like you like in the hood, like that's just like that's some weirdo shit. That's some white people shit.
That's
some
white people shit. You know? Literally, it's white people shit.
Like. It's crazy. It's crazy for sure.
Like now it's starting to get more normalized.
That's only because of hip hop though. That's only because
all these fools be doing barred up. They're all barred up.
This is a minor hot take, but that's only because these mainstream hip hop artists are hanging out with these white people aka doing the drugs that they're doing, and then they're being addicted and rapping about it, so therefore it follows through.
It follows through, yeah.
So like it's that's my opinion on it. Like
I
you
think
know,
you're not that far off. Though.
yeah, because like I mean, genuinely, like most of them, they would just be like they would be
Smoking
rapping
weed,
the same way
smoking
that they
weed,
would,
like you rarely heard like we're doing bars, like doing this, like it's like
dude, how many
everyone
brown people doesn't like we don't trust like doctors.
Prescription drugs.
We don't
Yeah.
trust doctors. You know, like what do you
Why do you think most of these fools did not want to take that fucking vaccine? I had a cousin for a fact. She's like, nah, they're putting the chips in you. She said they're putting the chips in you.
Bruh.
Like, don't let grandma get it. I'm like, grandma
Like, for
90, bro.
real.
Like, grandma, no, like, grandma need that shit. Like, you got me hella bent if we not putting this shit in grandma. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
I was
I
like,
mean,
you don't
like-
got. I was like, you don't gotta do it. I was like, you don't do it. I was like, bro. Also, I was like, why are they gonna put a chip on you? You act like you're so important.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I was
respectfully,
literally talking about the chip today.
I was like, bitch, we got a bug.
Tracked. We're being tracked everywhere with our phones. Like,
I was like,
worried
these mofos be mad posting wherever they are. I'm like, you dumb as hell,
worried
bro.
about a chip.
Oh, just wait for it. My mama told me 2020 or 2030, we're all gonna have like, dude. In Switzerland, they already have like people like,
Yeah, with microchips and shit.
yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
the same thing.
Fuck it, we ball. Like, it's already in your
Fuck it,
phone.
we
It's
ball?
on your fucking watch, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no,
like, bro,
but
they
that's-
track the shit out of you. Like, it ain't that
crazy.
deep. Like, it's like,
That's why I tell like, yeah. I try to explain that to people, and they're just like, no.
I don't know. Maybe
But
call me old fashioned, but I like my body the way it is. It's my body, my choice, right, ladies? Ladies. Okay. So to like kind of circle back into the fashion stuff. Last week we had our guest John, and he's like a real fashion designer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what real fashion is.
yeah. I don't. Like, I really don't. Like, it's been a big struggle for me to like
No,
understand this.
But
like,
no, I'm kidding. But
he knows I can roll. That's what the thing. He doesn't know it, like, he knows I can roll with it. Go for it.
But but like, okay, so explain to me the difference between like, have you ever had the idea of maybe actually like create like what
Like
he
sewing
does,
shit, like cutting
like
stuff
actually
shit?
sewing and like, you know, like doing those stuff?
I know small stuff. Like, I can hem
or
shit.
even
like,
even if it's just like you tie dyeing the sweaters that you
Yeah.
produce, like
Yeah.
like would you ever do something like that where it's like kind of just handmade, so it is, or
like hand sewn stuff.
yeah.
I would if I like. I would have to practice a lot though,
Mm.
because
Well,
most
I
of
mean,
the stuff
yeah,
I do,
obviously.
most of the stuff I do, like, if it is done by me, I do it for myself. Cause I'm like, if I
Right.
fuck it up, I won't feel bad.
So okay,
like
so,
me hemming my shirts, I'll hem all mine. Cause like if I get them like size double XL, then I hem them to like so it fits my waist and shit like
Right.
that. I'll do that because I'm like, it's for me. So if I hate it, it's on me.
right,
Like in terms of like real cut and sew, that's the goal.
right.
That's the real goal. But the
So-
thing is, like, people don't know how expensive it is.
Okay, thank you for saying that. So like saying how expensive it is and everything, like is it the easier route to get into this fashion game by doing what you're doing, kind of doing
Screen
the screen
printing, yeah.
printing, and then kind of building a brand, doing that, and then all of a sudden kind of move forward from that? And then walk me through the transition from being a screen printing like company for the most part to all of a sudden doing designs. Because like, how would that transition over? Like, do you think that you would have to like branch out to maybe a brand?
Sub brand.
Yeah, you know, or like do something like that. But yeah, I'm interested.
For me, people don't know how expensive it is, how much samples cost, and that's usually why some brands it's reflective on their pricing. Like a sample in LA, like if like, cause you gotta first like the thing is like, I can draw the idea in my head like how I want it to be flared, how I want everything to look.
Right.
Oh shit, that's my mom. Give me a second. ¿Qué pasó, jefa? Acá estoy ahorita con mi amigo para el podcast. ¿Cómo está? Damn.
It sounds lit.
Hey, oigo la banda. Te están oyendo. Estás en la bocina. Salúdalos. A Danny.
Hi.
Nah, no, todo está bien. Todos te están oyendo. Estás en speaker. Saluda a todos. Saluda al podcast.
Hola. Hey. Saludos.
sounds fun.
Okay, babe. Love you. Alright. That's my mom. My mom. Hey, like, I'm like the balance of my mom and my dad, where it's like, my dad's very like introvert, like unless he's around the people he like knows well, he's like not like like da da. And my mom's that. She's like that, and like I'm the balance where it's like I'm either turned the fuck up and like I'm like I go into the room, say hi to everybody, da da, hugs, kisses, da da, or I'm like my dad, where I'm just like chilling in the corner, like, oh, alright, cool. Like I'll talk to the 4 people I know, and I'm like that. Oh, but like yeah, people don't know how much like okay, like samples sometimes cost because you gotta get the pattern, fabric, someone to sew it, then you gotta do the size increments because like you can do the like for me like a 29-inch waist, so then but then we gotta do the 30, then we gotta do 32, then we got 34, like but thousands of dollars.
Right.
Like even if you know in some situation, like but for that's like for Kenso, but like because like I like in my head like I've been slowly like trying like thinking of the idea of mood boarding my dream Kenso like collection.
Is mood boarding just kind of like manifesting?
No, it's like finding pictures that you think like fit the silhouettes you want. Like I'm like, okay, this coat, right. I like the way like how far that coat is, the leather or the faux leather, like the suit, the tailoring. I'm like, I like the way like some of the stitching works on that, the button work, like like I have like a whole like separate mood boards for like jewelry that I'm right now like thinking of like I'm gonna make for me, like rings and stuff like that. Like, but like people don't understand how expensive samples are, and like that's why like. Besides Balenciaga and all these big brands being already big as fuck, like so they like you're partially buying the cut and like how much it costs, but you're also buying like the brand. But like it takes a lot of money. Like it takes a lot of money. Like that's the thing, and people don't understand. Like screen printing's fun because like yeah, you can just it still may cost a little bit to do a screen print, ordering everything. It does cost a good amount of money, but like how much it costs more to like make like some of this Kenso shit, like knit sweaters, like stuff like because I want to do like I've already started thinking like the knit sweaters I want, like how I want them to look, suits because I love suits. I love a suit. Like,
right. Okay, but now you're on your Tyler Creator shit, and I love that. But
okay, but like you mean, but like trousers, jeans, like all that. Shit,
no. But I'm trying to like try to dumb it down for me, who's dumb. Yeah. Right. So just like kind of dumb it down for me for someone like I understand screen printing, right?
Yes.
And then like I
just grab a blank, put that shit on.
Right.
But the thing is like blanks.
But okay,
so cheaper.
So my question is right. Yes. Like I had John, and I was trying to get this out of him a little bit, and trying to get this like answer. But like the actual act of like cutting and then repurposing something, there was X amount of hours that you did there, right?
Yes.
So you have to like put that into the price of whatever you're selling.
And even then, obviously. It may not be really as much work as you did.
Right. But I think I was talking to Matt about this, and he was like, yeah, but I mean, if you were smart, you'd be like, what's minimum wage, you know, like $15, $18 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I think his profit on like that sweater was like
I think he lost money. I think he lost money on time.
Dude, I'm barely right now with this Ortem drop, barely at the point where like I'm $100 from like breaking even.
Right. So
that means like a hoodie and a t-shirt that I'm selling tomorrow, that'll break me even.
Right.
And it's like, and then I still got leftovers to try to build at least like if I profit a couple hundred,
so okay, so
it's so hard. It's so hard because like the thing is, getting people to buy shit is so fucking hard.
So question, so like so with screen printing, right? It's still trying to dumb it down for myself. Mm-hmm. So like screen printing, right? You have small, medium, large, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I try to be inclusive, so I go all the way up. I go
to 3x at 3x. 3x.
I will do it.
Like,
I'll get one or two. I'll get one or two. Even
okay,
like.
So I was just, okay. Let's just dumb it down for myself once again.
Okay.
So you have 4, right? You have small, medium, large,
extra
XL.
large. Yes.
Right. How many until for you to actually make a profit and for you to actually like be like, oh, this is something that's working.
Yeah.
What is a happy number? Because like right now you just said broke even, but like genuinely, like where is it where you're like, oh shit, this is tight. Like I can actually do this, or is it just like, oh, I want to be creative?
It's a mix of both.
Okay.
It's so a mix of both. It's a mix of like, dang, I really brought this into the world. This idea that I thought of. And slowly been working with over like the Ortem stuff. This first like with my cousin Ricky, he does beautiful drawings. We got the fucking tattooed on our fucking hands, like
right.
Like
that's your arm, but
oh yeah, shit, my bad. Sorry. Hey, fuck. All right. And
I'm kidding.
I'm sober. Like I'm sober. That's the funniest thing. But on my arm. But yeah, like it's like bringing that feeling that we were having during that time and like the meaning behind it. Sometimes that's more important. And like you're like, oh shit, like yeah, I lost probably like $300, $400, but like, and it's like fuck, it is a lot of money. That's the thing. Like I've lost shit probably like 1,000 ones. Like, but then you see this like Ortem shit, and it's like, oh shit, like I sold $1,000 in a day.
So okay,
Like, and that's like, and you're like, holy fuck, like people liked it that much that I just sold $1,000 worth of shit right now. Like for me, I'm like, oh, like maybe it's because they like me, maybe because they like Ricky, or maybe they just love the idea of the drawing.
So
like,
okay, so you said it right. You said, oh, maybe is it because they like me? So do you think at the end of the day that you're the brand? You did originally call it Ivan's World.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you're kind of the brand.
Partially why people support
you're
you, maybe just because they like you.
Right. So like that's kind of my question with all of this. With even with John, I was just like, it's mostly like you sell well when people know who you are, and then you sell your best when people are discovering you.
Yep.
You know, like that's when people are like, oh shit, I'm gonna pay $300 even though this is really worth maybe $150.
Yep.
But yeah, so like kind of explain to me why you switched from Ivan's World, from you being kind of the focus and the brand of it, and like you were saying earlier, how you were using that to kind of be like, this is how I feel right now, to now changing it to Ortem. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot the R.
Yeah, the R. You forgot the R. But it was just like, I feel like a change in mindset.
Okay.
Like I think like
Do you feel like this is more like the teenage phase, maybe?
that was like a young, like the baby steps. Towards
right.
It was
So
like,
that was your odd future.
Yeah, that was my
Like
development.
your odd future Wolfgang kill 'em all.
Yeah,
And
like
then
this
now,
was like
now you're on your OF shit.
Yeah, I'm like
right?
on the floor, like I'm trying to like like you're still evolving because we're always currently evolving.
Right.
But like in terms of everyone, we're all just evolving as people. But like in like this is where I'm like, sometimes people knowing it's you may sometimes put people off. Like it's hard sometimes for people just like, you have a hoodie that says Ivan on it. Like you're not Ivan. Like why would I wear something that says someone's name on it?
Right.
Like
right.
and like nowadays like a
that
lot
isn't
of
Kanye or that
isn't Kanye or like
yeah.
a Louis Vuitton or like
Right.
Dior, like
Right.
because like people, even though nowadays people don't know Dior was a person, they don't know like Margiela was a person, they just think of the name of the brand or like
yeah.
like, so it's like, or like Balenciaga, that's the name of a person. Cristobal Balenciaga, like that's his last name, like but like it's hard for people like to fall for something when it's like someone else's name. So I'm like, okay, here's just a vision that yes I came up with, but it's its own thing too.
Right.
It's like, and like Ortem is like still Ivan's World, like it's just an evolution of it, like because it's still my like, Ortem is Metro spelled backwards. I used to ride the LA Metro everywhere I went.
Right.
Because like I didn't have a car in LA. When I went to Europe, I didn't have a car, so I would have to take the train, their metro. Like you're just like, I was just riding on fucking buses and trains, like just in my own world with my headphones on, thinking of shit.
Just in the trenches, essentially.
Yeah,
You know?
like you're like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is just like, so then I was like shit, like when I was like damn, I feel like I've grown past Ivan's World, like
Right.
that felt the beginning of it, and like I was drawing people to this world. This is like where this world's evolved to, which is still my head, still what I'm feeling, but like it's a different side of it.
Right.
It's like me just like, I just be lost in my head.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then I was like, shit, what's a cool name? And then like I was like on the bus, and I was like the Metro, and then I was like Ortem
Yeah.
is Metro backwards. So I was like, shit, let's call it Ortem. I was like, fuck it. And
Yeah.
if you see in some of the hats, if you see like on a window or like in a mirror, it spells out like
Metro.
It spells out Metro. So
Yeah.
it's like it's fun. Like it's like, but like people always ask like, what is it? I'm like, oh, it's just Metro's backwards.
Right.
I rode the bus everywhere.
Super
Like
dope idea. I
thank,
like it.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's
like I was on the bus literally like, because I like, UCLA is in Westwood, where I was staying at was near the Fairfax area. That was a 40 to an hour and 15-minute bus ride. So I would just chill on the bus, sleep on the bus, put on headphones, think of shit, like imagine what people like. Imagine like, oh, that person's a lawyer. Oh, this is like da da da. Like
Right,
just
right,
daydream
right.
of like what people were doing. And then I'm very like observant. I'm like, oh, what are they wearing? What's this? What's that? Like, why are they wearing that? What function does it bring to them? And like
So
stuff like that.
speaking of like people watching, what do you think was your first like article of clothing where you were like, oh shit, this is sick? Like for me, like I think the first like article of clothing where I'm like, I could wear this every single day for a straight week, which I have, which is like my Eddie Guerrero like WWE shirt, and I wore the fuck out of it. But like
I want one.
That to me was just like it signifies everything. There's a Mexico flag, there's a lowrider, there's it says Poppy on it.
Is it the one I'm your Poppy one?
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
they're reselling the one on WWE store.
Dude, they're so expensive now.
No,
So
they have
expensive.
like they remade them.
Nah, but I don't want to
I don't
remake.
want to buy
I
that
want the
shit too.
original.
Yeah. They're selling some for like $80, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, for
$80 is still kind of expensive for a fucking reprint. That's expensive.
No. The reprint's like $40 on WWE
okay,
store.
wait.
I mean, like the original ones.
No, the original ones are going
I've seen
for.
stuff for like 80. I've seen some for like 300.
Okay, that's
like,
cheap.
Depop,
I've seen them
on
I've-
Depop. I'll send you.
I've seen, yeah. I've definitely seen them for like at least 150 plus, and I was like, I just want to. but anyways, what was your first like article of clothing where you were like, oh shit, like that looks dope, and I can maybe make it better, like.
See, that's like, damn, fuck. Now you got me weird thinking. Cause like I know there's article of clothes that I'm like I can either make that better or I want that shit so bad. Cause I was like,
okay, give me both then. Give me both.
for like first one, the one I always wanted that Burberry trench coat.
I
don't know why, I always loved that Burberry trench coat.
Right.
Like, the fucking khaki one with the Burberry print inside. Like, but the thing is, like, I like that you would never know it's Burberry unless you open it.
Yeah, because it's
the-
only on the inside.
It's only on the inside.
Right.
So it's
The
like
inlining.
And the lining. So it's like
Hell yeah, I'm fashion.
Yes, who knows, But yeah, like it's like stuff like that where like you're like, oh shit, like you would never know.
Right.
I like seeing stuff where I'm like, this Prada jacket that I have, you would never know because you seeing it from afar, you're like, oh, that's just like a normal as like Coach jacket, like a windbreaker type shit. But then there's like a small little thing right here that's just red. That's so tiny that you're like, and then that's how like someone at work like
The subtleties.
they're like, oh shit, you're wearing Prada. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I saw it from that little like tag that's like this
Right.
big, and I'm like, oh shit, like.
But that's like a like if you know, you know.
If you know type shit, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like, but I'm like, I can do this.
Did you ever get okay? So speaking of like, if you know, you know, like, did you ever get into like sneakers, or was it more so like actual like just like
fashion? It was always clothes. Like I never like. It's not that I didn't give a fuck about sneakers because of course I wanted the Jordans, bro. Like every kid like wanted them thirds. Like the fucking South Bay fucking shoe was the 13 Concords or like the fucking
right.
the bread 13s or the 11s.
That's the one that gets sold out the
11s,
fastest
like,
every single year. Yeah.
The 11s, the fucking Concord 11s. Everyone wore the Concords 11s. Like all like fucking all the little cholitos wearing their little Concord 11s or the third or like the bread like but I was just like, it's not that I didn't care because as a kid like I grew up wearing like Sambas. Like Adidas Sambas because like we all play soccer. You get the little indoor shoes like because then it helps like your parents because then okay you can play indoor but you can also take this shit to school like it's like a little like kills two birds with one stone but like which is funny because now everyone loves the fucking Sambas.
Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere. They're sold out everywhere.
Well, it's because
TikTok.
But it's okay. So okay, this is fun. So like to kind of like use what you just said, being like now they're back, and you also being a history major, like.
Have I seen stuff that I'm like, oh, I can probably do that and make it and bring it back?
Yeah, because I've also peeped that you were trying to do that with the I don't remember if it was a Jeep or if it was
Land
a
Rover.
Bronco or
It was a Land Rover shit.
Right. So like that's something that I peeped out and like I noticed and I was like, oh, that's sick. And then now actually knowing that I know you went to UCLA and I was just hyped for the name UCLA. I'm like, dude, you can go to fucking school for being a janitor, but like you still went to UCLA. So like that's fucking
hospitality.
Sick.
I went to hospitality.
I don't give a fuck. But like I saw that, so I was just like, oh, okay. Now knowing that you did you majored in history, how do you think that you would or do you think that you did that on purpose?
Yeah.
Or
because I was looking at like old Land Rover like ads, like they used to do like these like magazine ads, and like they would like, and I was like, that's just so fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, like what did they ever make clothes? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh shit, like they did.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna use that as a reference point.
Yeah.
And then
they have that dope ass green.
Dude, that green
is so sick.
Beautiful.
So sick.
So
and like
sick.
yeah, it's weird. Like I love
it was from the
conversation.
ads. That's what influenced me to do that. It was literally just their like old like marketing campaigns like they would do like on newspapers and shit. And I was like, that's hard.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just like, and if you know, like, when I released those pictures for that Land Rover drop, all the pictures were meant to like, even if it's just the dumbest shit on that ad, it was meant to incorporate those old ads I'd seen in the
Right,
picture.
right.
Where it was
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like I kind of like peeped at because like I saw you maybe posted on your story like months earlier where you're like, oh, this is cool. And then like you come forward, you're like, hey, does anyone actually have a Land Rover? And I'm doing a photo shoot, and I'm like putting the pieces together. I'm just like fucking all the.
Dude, you know how hard it was to fucking find a Land Rover? Dude, I was calling my most affluent people like, nah.
But you also were asking for a specific color, a specific year.
I asked for like black or white. Like
okay. I thought you were. I thought you were going for that cream colored one or the
any dude. Okay, look, at that point it was like, shit, bring me a red one. I don't give a fuck. Like we just need it for the shoot. Like thankfully my mom had a friend who had like an old one.
Yeah.
And like I drove all the way to like past Hellier, like over there. Like
I don't even know where that is.
Like down that way, just like all down fucking 101. Like probably another 20 minutes. And like went and left them my car. I left them my car so that
they can use for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went. Literally, I was like, "Yo, like, thank you, like, thank you." Da, da, da.
And that was done for free, right?
She let me borrow it for free.
That's so sick. And I want people to like hear that because it's just like, dude, like sometimes you don't need to like throw in a bunch of like dollars at something to like.
And it was my mom. It was through my mom, like my mom's friend. Like, so she was like, "No, like, I don't care." Like, mom was like, "Yo, get her a hoodie." And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Right.
I was like, "That's like," because I was like, "Yeah, I'll happily get her one. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll save her one." She's like, "No, like, just save me one. I'll pay you for it." Like, I love the pictures. It looks beautiful. Like, I sent her the pictures after we took. She's like, "Oh my god, it looks so beautiful." Da,
right. And it's also kind of cool because she's like a part of it.
Yeah.
Like like that's what I really enjoy doing.
People think you always has to come with the check. Not everything has to come with the check.
Well, not just that, but it's also just like sometimes it's just fun to be a part of something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
At least for me, anyways. So like that's like kind of cool that like. I mean, that's a cool way that it was like the Lil Dicky approach.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to go walk up to these people and be like, hey, can I use your mansion for a music video? Yes, he's a white Jewish kid. So, like, obviously people are
he's not scared. He's not scary.
You know,
like,
it's a little easier for him. But, like at the end of the day, like, he did a whole music video for free.
Yeah.
You know, which is fucking outlandish, you know? And also it's like now like a $2 million or like a 2 million view like video.
Like if they ever want to sell it, like, or if they ever want to use it for their own like to let other people rent it for music shoots, like they can use it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I doubt that because they're like,
probably loaded.
Yeah,
but you can always use that house, like, bro, like
for sure,
like, for like little check every once in a while. Like,
yeah,
it's like Rick Ross. Rick Ross lets people use his fucking mansion for movies and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're
okay,
right.
but yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I just
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
Like, they don't need it type shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like there's been stuff where friends are like, yo, like, I'll help you out. I'll do the shoot for free. Yeah. Like this, like, and like, cause like that, we're all coming up.
Right.
I feel like sometimes it's like, we're all coming up. We're all trying. Like, why wouldn't I? If I can help you, why wouldn't I?
Right. Yeah.
And
that's...
like and like the way we talk, like I hate asking for help sometimes. Like I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
But like when we did the LA pop up, I asked one of my homies. I was like, yo, like I know you're good at planning events. Can you help me find these stuff? Like this, the sound system, this, like, can you help me? Because I know you're way better at event planning than I am.
Yeah.
Can you help me? And like they were like, yeah, oh yeah. And I was like, they're like, oh, happily do it for free. Like you're my friend. Like I don't give a shit. Like, and also like, yeah, like we can always be like, oh, it helps the resume type shit. But it's like, no, they're like we care about what you're trying to do. Like like, and it's like, shit. Like I'm just like, dude, I'm so thankful. Like I'm like, shit. Like you ever need anything, I'm here.
Right.
Like it's like.
Yeah, and I feel like that's how you've always been. Like, for sure, that's always, like, been you. It's just been, like, I understand that sometimes I don't want to do something. Yeah. And I think I see it in your face sometimes when you, like, don't want to actually be there. But you're still putting on the fucking Ivan smile.
Dude, I've been a lot of places where, like, one of my homies, like, throws events. And, like, I was literally driving up to the event, got a call from my mom, like, this close family friend just passed away.
Right.
I was fucking devastated.
Yeah.
Like I was like my other friend was in the car while I got that call, and I was just sad as fuck. Like just like, and I still showed up. I went for an hour and a half. Showed up, made a face. Like I was like, oh no, like pretending I was happy as fuck. Like the last time I was just like sad as fuck for the rest for a couple weeks, and like I was like I'm willing to do it. Like, cause I'm like, dude, like I know how much you've helped me out. Me being here for an hour and a half, just so, like, cause it's your day too. Like it's like, I feel like shit. Like just like coming like like I don't know. Like I was. Dude, that day would fucking suck, but I was there. Like, I was like, I'm gonna show up, be here for an hour and a half, like, just to show face and be like, yo, like, I'm so happy you threw this event. Because I'm happy for you. Yeah. I may not be happy internally with, like, how life's going on, but I'm here for you.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm willing to do it. Like, I'm loyal. If you're my friend, I'm loyal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm like, almost loyal to a fault.
Same.
Like I put so much like I'm just like, oh, you've been around. Like I view consistency of you being around me as like loyalty and trust.
Same.
And like once you kind of like break that, like that's where I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? We just spent all this time together.
For me,
like,
it's
what are you
that
talking
easy.
about?
For me, it's that easy too. Like
Yeah.
if you did something that for me, I'm like, if you like lying, like I'm like, dude, like if you're my friend, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
Even if it's like something like, yo, like, of course, like white lies and shit like that. But like,
Yeah.
if it's like if it's like some dumb shit, like I'm like, dude, like you're probably fucking up.
Yeah.
Like you should probably fix that shit.
Yeah.
Cause like if I can, I will. Like I'm like, dude, like you're fucking up. Like you should probably like fix that shit up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm pretty vocal and I'm pretty like black and white when it comes to things. I can't take my own advice, so sorry. But yeah, like it's
I don't like being lied to. Like that's my personal thing. Like if I ask you a question, I'm like,
I just
yo,
don't like I personally like genuinely a lot of my like gripes with people is just like I don't like feeling stupid. I don't like feeling like I'm out of the loop of something while you guys are pointing and laughing at me. Like that makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
So it's just
and
like,
I've been dealing with someone with that where like some dude was lying. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, it's not even the act you did. It's more you lying. Because
Right.
like you're lying. Like the action you did, like the reason you lied to do whatever the fuck you're doing with whoever you're doing it with, why'd you lie? Like,
Yeah.
like, cause I'm like, that hurts me more than you fucking that person or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, cause I'm like, at the end of the day, you're just lying. Like, and like maybe you don't trust me enough to
dude,
like.
the other day,
I'm like,
I went to the DMV with my best fucking friend, right? I went to the DMV. I need to get my driver's license. Sorry, I don't have my driver's license. But I'm there, and then he pulls out his wallet and pulls out an expired ID. So he can't be the assistant driver for my test.
because it's an expired ID.
Because it's an expired ID. The lady at the DMV was maybe having a day and was just like, well, now you're late. So now you can't take your test. And I'm just sitting there like
mad as hell.
so mad, ready to swing at anyone, really. But like, dude, it to me was just like, I even talked to him now and we're fucking great. We're fucking love you, Christian. But like,
I love you too, Christian.
yeah, but it's just like, but it just like, to me was just like, dude, I had like I did everything. Yeah. I studied the test. I passed it. I fucking like all this other shit. And I'm here on time just for someone who isn't even a part of this really outside of him driving the car from the parking lot to the corner of the fucking thing.
And make it look like they brought it when it was your whip. Yeah. Like,
you know, like, dude, that like was so like annoying. Was
it's like
the
annoying.
word.
It's just
annoying. It's annoying. It's just like, yeah, I can just, obviously I can just reschedule it and blah, blah, blah. This time I do have another friend. Sorry, Christian. But yeah, like it's 1000% fine. But like at that moment I was just like, dude, like you let me down. And I hate when people
let me down.
Yeah, especially when they said they got me.
I'm gonna try my hardest to not let you down.
Right.
Loyal to a fault. I'm loyal to a fault.
Like I'm loyal to a fault, and like I tell like I tell most of my friends, I'm just like, dude, don't promise me something if you're not willing to actually do it.
Bro, that was the worst part. He's like, dude, I promise you, and I'm like, you're just people pleasing.
Yeah.
At this point, you're just people pleasing me to where like. And then you do the opposite of what you just said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I feel stupid.
Right.
Now
right.
I'm more emotional because I'm like, you lied.
Right. And also in my head, like I grew up on playing soccer, team shit, you know? So like to me it's just like, dude, we're on the fucking same team. Like what the fuck are we like why like what are we doing? Like you know I needed you. Mm-hmm. I needed you. So like why like I would have been there. If I told you I'm gonna be there at 6:30, I'm gonna be there at fucking 6:25.
I told you 8:30, my ass was like hauling ass from that party.
So it's just like it's I don't know. It's different. But I digress.
Because then you think about it, you're like, fuck, like my roommate, he's we had like a conversation with other people like who's really a friend, you know? Like friends and like acquaintances, because we were just acquaintances. But you like saying that word friend sometimes. He's like, for me it means something more than what it means to some people. Like some people, it's like, oh, I love you. It's like, do you really love me though? Like yeah. Some people are will just like, oh, I love you to everyone.
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
why.
And it's like, do you really like? Because then at that point, that word is kind of like watered down. It's like a friend, like, oh, everyone's my friend. Like a lot of them are just acquaintances. Like you may just be coworkers. Like you just may be coworkers. Like at the end of the day, it's like you're not really their friend. Like
yeah.
It's like
a lot of the times I think that like now looking back at it, like Phil's was a lot of like close proximity friends, and I didn't know how to like remove that, you know, because we would hang out after work, before work, we would walk in together, clock in at the same time.
Weekends,
like,
we'd hang out, everything.
You know,
days
so
off.
it was just like it was like, and at that point, like, yes, we are friends, but not everyone at that store is your friend. Like those core 2-3 people, because that's all you had. But in your head, I feel, at least with me personally, I almost like created like, no, everyone's like this, right? We're all fucking homies, right? We just don't. You just live far away. That's why you don't want to smoke with us. It's like, no, you just kind of find us annoying. That's why you.
That's
don't
why you
wanna
don't.
smoke.
You really just don't fuck
like,
with us.
Like,
It's
like that's the harsh reality of it all.
Or
But
you
like,
don't think there's something to gain, so you're like, I ain't gonna fuck with them. Like, there's nothing to
Right,
gain from that.
right.
It's like, but yeah, it's like, dude, like, some people really ain't your friend. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. To kind of lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, let's lighten the mood. Yeah, we kind of dropped that shit down. But yeah, hey, yo, making
it's-
clothes is mad fucking expensive. Support your friends.
Yes. Hey, support all your friends no matter what they're doing. If people are fucking glass blowing, if people are just creating art, if people are selling shirts, whatever the fuck it is.
Supporting your friends doesn't mean you buy. Sometimes it just means you share it.
Yeah, dude. It does. It literally costs you $0 to be a good person and repost, share.
And that person
do
that
stuff.
knows that I'm probably like shooting at them. Fuck you. Too.
Yeah, but have you ever realized that?
Dude, I had someone hating on Ivan's World too, bro, from over here.
Yeah.
I ain't
Well,
gonna
it
say
was
that.
it. What?
No, it wasn't them. It wasn't them.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No, it wasn't them. It wasn't them. Not them. No, if I even like, they wanted to look like Omar Apollo. That's like all I'm ever say. But
Damn.
like they're like, oh, he's just trying to be a biter, like and like, the person he was telling that to was like a close friend of mine, and they're like, the fuck's wrong with you, bro? Like, I'll smack the shit out of you for saying that.
Damn.
And-
See, so once again, he said it earlier. He's like, "Oh, don't invite me if you don't want the ghetto-ness," and then laughed it off. I understand it now.
Yeah, like
But I need
fuck
to
that
pee
fool.
again. I need to pee again.
same. I gotta pee too. I've been
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
bad water since I got here. I was like, fuck.
Cool.
All
All right, dope. All right. So this is part of the show where I'm just gonna ask you random things and things that kind of like popped into my head throughout the week. And just give me your general thoughts on it. Okay, think about this. Will and Jada Smith named their kids Willow and Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find that weird?
Yeah.
Like,
but there's also juniors. Like,
for sure.
Ivan,
but
like,
Will is the girl. Jaden is the, Jaden.
You think?
So-
I don't know.
Like,
That's-
you don't. I heard. I heard it.
Maybe
heard
they're
it, saw it.
narcissists and we're like, yo, like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna name my kid after like me type shit.
But like, isn't that weird? Like, I mean, not like juniors is
weird.
like one thing. Like, I understand. Like, if you're a second or whatever, like that's. I mean, if you're the third, it's getting a little weird. You know, like unless you guys did some real dope shit, which I doubt. Like,
like some Game of Thrones shit, like Viserys the third type shit. It's
Right,
like-
right. But if you don't have dragons, or whatever, like just like relax.
No, they got Dodge your.
But
Durangos or
dude,
some
you don't
shit.
find that weird, dude? I heard that and I was like, holy shit! Like that mind fucked me so hard.
Oh fuck yeah.
Mm.
No, I never. Like, I understand what you mean because I'm pretty sure I saw that shit on Twitter once. But I was like, in my head it just like goes like narcissist.
Some Hollywood shit.
Some Hollywood narcissist shit. Like, oh, I'm the biggest thing in the fucking world. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna name my kid after me. Like, in some weird way, it's like, or maybe they're like, oh, like the first one's gonna be like named after me and the second one's gonna be named after you, and like it just happened to be like Jaden was a guy, so it was like Jaden instead of Jada.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if it was like Jaden would have been born
But-
biologically, a girl would have been like, oh, da-da-da. Who
Willow?
texted me now? Yeah, May, like it would have been like something. Like,
Yeah, that's insane to me. Anyway, like regardless, like yeah, it's insane to me because Jaden's the first one, so Jada was just like, we're naming him after me. No matter what it is, like, and like Will's just like, all right, fine, whatever. Yeah, but anyways, so I also was seeing that that fucking Cartoon Network
Uh-huh.
has now like
It's all animated?
it's done. It's over with. It's now gonna be part of like Time Warner, like Warner Brothers. So that's like it's HBO, all of Warner Brother, and now Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because if you have the HBO app, you have all those Cartoon Network shows. But yeah, so like, what was your top 3 favorite cartoons from Cartoon Network? As we say, R.I.P.
Trying to think what was on Cartoon Network. Conan Kids Next Door was on Cartoon Network.
Hell yeah, dude.
And that, because I always forget between them and Nick. Like for me, it's like
anything badass with like
was looking
actual
Cartoon Network
action,
like action.
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
Trying to see what else. What, is there like a list of shit? That was on
have it.
Fuck. I'm already trying to think. I'm like,
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
I was like, what was on Cartoon Network?
All right, so
Courage was Cartoon Network.
yeah,
That was not Nick.
dude, Nickelodeon is the softest shit ever.
They had SpongeBob though. SpongeBob be like mad like underlying
SpongeBob?
They had underlying like sexual like tendencies and shit like that.
Sure, but
She was-
so did everything else, especially.
Now at
like-
least as an adult, you're like that shit kind of crazy what they were showing.
Yeah. I mean, not for sure, but also it's just like adults are making it, so they need to be having fun while they're making it. You know, like you can only have one baby shark because one adult was just like, fine, I'll think like a baby,
Like
for
Cocomelon?
you know, like, and then everything else is gonna be kind of like the Wiggles. Not every song is the best song. You know,
That shit was bumping though as a little kid though. I was going crazy. I'm like shit. I'm like, cause I'm thinking in my head, I was like, did I watch that much? Robot Chicken was Cartoon Network, right?
yeah. I mean, it's Adult Swim, but same shit. I'll count it just to.
I'm thinking, I'm like, for sure, Codename Kids Next Door, because I used to think in my house like that'd be so sick to be like #1 and shit like. Just
So
like,
you would be number one. That was gonna be my next question. Now, honestly.
yeah, I'd always
I mean, you had
you
had
gotta-
the bald head for a little bit, so like
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Also, the leader vibes, you know, got to be a leader. You know,
Oh, okay.
I like being in charge.
Dude, I always wanted to be like number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah,
The kind of just like scrappy, kind of turned up one
yeah. He was just like, dude,
with the little bull head.
You know, like not very mysterious. Got the Asian chick, which is sick.
Powerpuff Girls was
You
lit
know?
though.
Like,
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
there was
there's
a lot
so
of
many
shows.
cartoons.
Dexter.
Oh shit, yeah.
Matt,
Dexter.
what are your top 3?
Tom and
This is
Jerry?
honestly it probably like a
Dexter for sure.
Yeah.
Same.
I used to love Johnny Bravo, and then I think Ed, Ed and Eddie. I used to love Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think for me would be the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It
That
would
was
be,
lit. That was lit as fuck.
It would
good,
be Courage the Cowardly Dog, and then honestly, probably the regular show,
The Cartoon
Cartoon Network.
Foster's was a
show?
good one. Powerpuff
Regular
Girls
show.
was so fire though. Codename was
Yeah.
Boom.
great.
Those are my 3.
Billy and Mandy.
Adventures.
Courage was great though.
Courage
Just
is
kind of
hella
felt
good.
bad.
Adventure
I
Time.
always felt
realized-
bad though. I was like, that dog going
That's
through
Cartoon
trauma.
Network. Adventure
Yeah.
Time.
He was going through it.
Realize that.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Tom and Jerry, that's fucking crazy. I used to like Tom and Jerry as a little kid.
Yeah. So
There's too many good ones. That's
Oh,
the
the
thing.
Red
But
Nah,
probably
just pick 3.
no, Codename Kids Next Door, Powerpuff Girls.
I forgot about that.
Cause I used to love the Piccolo looking dude.
Oh, dude, Foster Home for Imaginary Friends.
That
one, dude, that one might kick out Codename Kid Next Door. Honestly,
yes.
But
Boy.
Dexter though, Ben 10 was fire though.
Let's go.
Ben 10 was
Ben
sick.
10 was sick as fuck.
Ben Tennyson.
No, I think I'll probably keep.
Gumball.
Chowder.
I forgot about Chowder.
Chowder, dude.
That show is fire.
Oh, I love Chowder. I love the guy who's like.
Flapjack.
Oh, Flapjack was
dude.
good. Flapjack was
Yeah,
good. Hell yeah,
Flapjack
hell yeah.
was sick.
Flapjack kind of like scared me a little bit.
Scared me.
Like
But a
I
lot
don't-
of the
Into
bad-
whales.
yeah.
No, yeah, it was probably like Codename Kids Next Door. I'll do Ben 10 and Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo is
Scooby Doo is
Scooby Doo, yeah, I love
Scooby-Doo's-
Scooby Doo. Yeah, I'll do
I mean, it's a
Scooby Doo.
classic.
I used to love
Damn.
Scooby Doo as a kid.
Yeah, I just watched the Scooby Doo when they go to the Spooky Island or
Oh,
whatever.
dude, that shit was great.
Fucking
With
great film.
what was the Scrappy Doo?
Yeah, Scrappy
I love
Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Scrappy Doo. Scrappy Doo. Like,
But that's I don't
Samurai
remember
Jack.
his voice being like that because I thought it was deeper. But yeah,
no, when he goes from little baby Scrappy to like the big Scrappy,
Oh,
that's just
yeah.
crazy. We look like the Rock, like yeah,
on hella roids.
oh hella roids, bro.
So me and you are both like huge music fans, and we go like recently at least you've been going to more shows. You know, when we were at Phil's, you didn't go to like many shows.
I'll try to
But,
fix my
uh,
glasses. I just smacked it. Okay. cute.
But if you were to create a festival lineup, who would be your 3-day headliners? So you get to pick 3. So and like that would, and then kind of explain to me the general vibe for each day.
Cause he's such a great performer, Kanye
Mm-hmm.
or Ye. What?
Damn, hot take.
No, like every concert I've gone to like 4 of them, each one's been great. Each concert I've gone to, I went to the Drake and Kanye one. Great performance.
Yeah.
His like the performance as a whole was like beautiful. Life of Pablo as a whole was beautiful. Like I'm thinking of how good of an
Did
artist.
you go to Yeezus?
No, because my mom won't let me.
That was my first.
And I was always so jealous because you were wearing that fucking t-shirt.
Dude,
I used
I
to
still
hate-
have it. That's I'm never gonna. I'm
No, don't
never,
please
I'm
don't.
not.
And if
I'm,
you do, please give it to me.
I'm
If
like
you do have to
honestly,
give it to someone, give it to me.
I'm a stan of Kanye until that album. Or
Until
like
after?
anything after that, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Everything from that Yeezus album and before, honestly, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeezus is really good. Like now, long term.
Dude, yeah.
At the beginning, it was kind of like, what the fuck
Kanye,
was this?
If Kanye was literally saying what he was saying on Yeezus, what he's saying now, a lot of people would
No, it's
be,
the same vibe. No. Okay, no. Sorry. No, my bad. No. But think about it. He wore the Confederate flag during that time.
For sure. But that's,
He was wearing the Confederate flag. That was 12?
Yeah, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
That's a little different from
then
being
now.
like completely anti-Semitic, which
Yeah.
I support all my Jewish brothers
Same.
and sisters.
I love y'all.
And we love you, and like, comment, and subscribe.
We don't agree with his messages.
But
We're just talking about weed.
But my one thing was just like the difference between, at least from what he was saying back in the day, was like, I'm gonna repurpose this symbol being the Confederate flag, and I'm gonna wear it so then it loses its value.
That was the MAGA hash shit. That was the MAGA hash shit.
Yeah,
in a way.
that's an
It was also
extreme- but
Republican. It was also
that's
Republican.
the extreme version. That's
Yeah,
the
that- yeah,
extreme
that's-
version, right?
That was up
the extreme version.
That was crazy.
But
That shit was some crazy. That's some crazy ass shit that we do not need to do with.
But like the Confederate flag was just kind of like the first thing where like I can take a stand on this and like see how people were gonna react.
I had the jacket.
Yeah, and like that's cool, but like also Vince Mensa did the same thing.
Yeah.
And Vince Mensa is obviously a smaller artist. There's no shade or anything like that, but he's a smaller artist compared to Kanye West. So like it didn't hit the same way. Like when Kanye wears a fucking leather skirt,
There's a couple artists
It
that like
hits different.
that wear certain stuff that like if they wear your shit, you're like to the moon.
it hit different when Young Thug wore a dress
Because he's
for
a hood
his
dude.
album
Because he's a hood dude.
than when fucking from a third party perspective and also a kind of biased hip hop perspective.
Harry Styles
hit harder than when Harry Styles did. Kid Cudi did more so than what Harry Styles did. It could be the white thing, and that could be the thing.
I think it is the white thing. I think
You
it's
know?
like they're the white pop stars, so millions of more people see them.
Right.
So to them, it's like, oh my god, he's so like.
I mean, okay,
Fashion-
this
it's
is
like- it's like-
this is gonna sound. I'm not gonna say it actually.
No, but yeah, but like it's
Okay. Like to me, it feels like, anyways. I think because in the general like black and brown communities, like
They're very homophobic. Yeah.
like being homophobic is almost cool and almost like a stripe that you need as a man.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. But like being white now, like you almost have to be androgynous in order to even have a
because
sort
being
of,
a straight white dude kind of like, oh, okay, that's
because
everyone.
you can't be a cis white male fucking singing about watermelon or whatever the fuck he's
Watermelon
doing.
sugar.
Like,
No, he's just talking about pussy though. That's just talking about pussy.
Oh, is that what he means by that song?
Watermelon sugar, yeah. Oh, talking about pussy, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of tight. So shout out to you. But
But you know what I mean? He's kind of queer baiting. Like Bad Bunny wearing.
Right.
Bad Bunny is
right.
Like, Bad Bunny
Oh,
a Young
dude.
Thug because it's like in the Latino like think about it, like some of this shit like piercing your ears, me dyeing my hair. Like if I had painted nails, like Latinos would be like, oh, that's like, are you gay?
Right.
Like that's the
Right,
question.
okay.
It's not like they're like maybe homophobic. They're like, are you gay? And like I just be like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Right. Because I definitely had this experience when I got my ears pierced and I got my nose pierced, and then I went to a family function.
And they probably called you like an F slur or some shit.
Dude, they definitely, like, if they would have called me a faggot, you know? And I'll say that because that's not my words. But if they could, they would.
Yep.
But they said it in Spanish,
Yeah,
you know?
in Spanish,
And then, like, literally, I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to take a walk around the block. I'm going to smoke a joint and then come back here, and hopefully you guys finish dinner, because after that, I'm out, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just like, those are the different, you know, parameters that we kind of live
And it's
in.
like I think that's why for us like Harry's like, you're like, bro, like dude, like it's like it doesn't affect. I'm like, bro, you like
You
white
also-
people don't really give a fuck.
And
like,
also, you started with 5 guys, of course. Like, you know, like.
yeah. It's like, but yeah, fucking. but yeah, it's like there's different leaps. Like being into you know, we're considered whitewashed.
Mhm.
So like we see and we're like, oh, that's like.
Right. But I like, okay, for me anyways, like my whitewashness is because of acceptance
Yeah.
and the act of being like, oh, okay, well, that's just them, you know? Like,
Also, the fact that maybe a lot of whitewashness is because I don't think we were ever considered like the dangerous ones, you know?
right.
It's that like
I was
they're
in
safe.
skinny,
We're
I was in
safe.
skinny jeans at a party in
Yeah.
East Side San Jose. You know, like
Yeah.
I was going to East Palo Alto to go pick up like half of a zip or like half a pound or whatever. Like, sorry, cops, but like, yeah, like it, like I was always that one kid who did not need to be there. I spoke like this always. I
Yeah.
looked like this always. Like
we were never threatening. We were never like
Yeah.
the threatening
Like
ones.
we're in our mid-20s,
Yeah.
but we look like we just fucking are like sophomores in college.
Yeah.
You know, where people were like, "Oh, what are you guys majoring in?" You know, like
Yeah,
and-
it's like they think we're younger than we are, and it's like, but it's like we feel like I don't know if white people think like this, but like, oh, they're safe, like they're not threatening, like
Right.
oh, we can bring them in.
But I
And,
kind of like that. I
Same
told this to a coworker. I was just like, because I work I used to work for a paint company, and they're all Hispanic males with egos and blah 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 and their own machismo. But like I know what I look like, I know what I sound like, and I
Same.
know what they're thinking. So it's just like I'm already like, all right, that's fine. Like if you guys want to call me gay all the time, like that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, most of you guys won't trust me around your daughters because you know what would happen.
Because I may bag
You
your
know what I
daughter,
mean?
and that's the thing. Like I may bag
and
your daughter.
That's the fucking fact. And so it's just like you're talking shit just to talk shit, which is cool. And I'm here for the banter. I'm here for the jokes and all that shit.
Yeah.
So like, call me whatever you want. But like at the end
You
of the
don't-
day,
you don't wanna put me anywhere
At the
near
end
your
of the
family.
day,
Yeah.
like I get paid more than you do because I am who I am.
Yeah.
Not because I'm
It's a
hating
code
on the
switch.
next
It's a
person.
code switch.
Yeah.
It's a code switch.
It's
I don't mind being able to code switch in different areas. Like
I'm very.
it's
I
just
feel like
something
me
about
and
street.
you.
It's about street smarts. It's street
It's-
smarts. Like
It's street smarts, but it's also that like book smart. You know, like but for me, like that's the reason why on my bio, like I have that quote where it says, "You don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to hold a conversation."
well, I've always said I don't know a lot of things. I don't know a lot about one thing. I know a lot of things about like I know little things about everything.
Right.
Like where I'm like someone's like, yo,
I would-
anime. I'm always like Attack on Titan. I've seen a couple episodes of Attack on like shit like random
Right.
shit. Where like I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
Like, it's like I don't know everything. I just-
And for me, like my like I said this last time, like what I fucking enjoy the most is someone else explaining something to me and being like hyped about it.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
sick.
saw that. I saw a clip and I understood what you meant.
Right. So it's like
Seeing true
that's
passion at its finest.
like that's sick. You know what I mean? Like even when Matt is telling me about all these lights and everything, he's just like, oh, like blah blah blah. Like I need to fix this. I need to do that. I need to change.
And in
this.
your head, you're
I'm-
like, I got no fucking clue what
in
you
my
mean.
head, I was just like, dude, it looked great, my guy. Like blah blah blah. But like that's him kind of nerding out and being like, oh no, like I know how to elevate this.
Yeah.
You know. And anytime someone can do that, like that's sick. And like and you do that in a lot of ways by like in like when you did your first drop, it was just kind of like a giant statement being like, I'm sad, you know.
Yeah.
Like just for everyone to know, like you guys
And I know
think
you're sad too, and you just hide
you know
it.
what I mean. And that was like such a cool thing to see someone kind of like inadvertently like really just be so like vulnerable at a time when everyone was being like so self-conscious and being like, dude, like I don't want them to think of me like this, or I don't want them to like blah,
Especially
blah, blah.
during a time where Instagram's like very like I gotta look like I'm having the time of my fucking life.
Right.
And it's like, bro, I see you 6 days a week. You're going through it,
Right.
but you posting like you're not, and it's like sometimes you just gotta be honest. You're like, yo, fuck, I'm going through it. Like yeah, it's sound kind of crazy sometimes where they do the whole stories and shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but like small stuff like wear the shirts, like
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah. But yeah, just to kind of like circle back on the original question. So your day one would be Kanye,
Day one would be Kanye.
and your day two would be
I'm gonna have to change it up a little bit. I'm gonna go The Weeknd.
The Weeknd would be sick.
But I would if
So
if
what
I
would
get
be-
if
what
I get to
would-
choose, there are gonna be a lot more trilogy shit then. Like I want
Oh,
like
so you're gonna tell him like, I need you to play this shit?
no, like if it's my festival, I'm like, yo, like not the whole, like here's some suggestions, like you could throw it in the middle.
Here's some hard suggestions.
Hey, throw these, like you don't gotta make it the first song. Throw that shit in the middle. Like I don't care, like
Right.
so when you want to slow it down, cause I understand you gotta bring up the hype in the beginning,
Right.
cool in the middle, then bring it back at the end. Throw that shit in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like throw Thursday. I'm trying to hear Thursday.
So
like,
Thursday. So okay, because
Like,
I
that was
know
my favorite.
because I know you. Then whoever the fuck is viewing this, so in my head, you're like, Kanye's gonna be my headliner for the first day. So like I'm thinking like Lil Baby type acts that day, like blah blah blah. And then for the weekend one, it's gonna be like
pop stars.
Yeah.
But no,
yeah.
but like R&B though. I'm trying to bring like
That's what I was gonna say.
Like I
That's
want a
what I'm-
nice little
yeah.
Allegra, like Division, like something
Right.
where it's like I want it to be just a vibe where it's calm. Like day one, we were all here moshing,
So
turn
then
the fuck
who
up.
the fuck is gonna be your day 3?
See, that's the hard one. See, that's what I'm thinking of here. I was like, because then we like, because I'm trying to think like big. You feel me? Like someone big. That's hard because most of my music.
So many jokes. So many jokes.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. Pause. I guess I don't know. Like, we could go artsy. We could do like Tyler.
The creator.
Artsy. Artsy in a different way, cause like Kanye's artsy,
Right.
but it's a different like.
So do you think that's gonna be like your like Pharrell Neptune type day where it's like kind of like Denzel Curry?
Like we can do Tyler Brockhampton type shit. Where
Oh, okay,
it's like a
They're
little
no
more
longer
artsy.
together,
They're
but
no longer
yeah.
together. But
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
Like we can actually bring like Omar Apollo or like Keitra. Like we can bring Keitra.
Right, okay, Keitra
like
would be
somewhere it's like
fucking
it would
sick.
be fun. Like
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
it's more
yeah.
like doing like kind of like
Yeah,
more
yeah,
relaxed.
yeah.
Like cause Kanye, we could do like the hip hop acts. Like we can bring
Right. Well, yeah. It's just. I mean, it kind of depends on what time Kanye comes at. You know, like that.
Yeah,
fool
that's
right
true,
now.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
he's a little. He's a little
yeah.
much.
Yeah, he's a lot.
But yeah. So that's sick. Yeah.
Cause like, but even then, like Tyler shit, like, cause I feel like Tyler could be thrown under like, but he's headliner status now. Like he can headline some crazy shit.
Hell
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
like
yeah,
of course
definitely.
like The Weeknd and yeah, and then
Who was your favorite? What was your favorite show to go to? Because you've seen Kanye and Tyler, right? And then Kanye.
he's been the best performer.
Yeah, for sure.
After that, it was probably J. Cole. J. Cole was a really good live
For
set.
what tour?
I saw him 2014 Forest Hill Drive. I saw
Oh,
him
I
at
saw
Outside
that
Lands.
one in Oakland.
I saw it in Oakland. Yeah. I saw
Oh hell yeah!
No,
yeah!
No, wait. No,
Shout
I saw
out
it
my
at Shoreline.
ex. She
No, I
bought
saw-
my ticket. I
I saw
love
it
you
at
for
Shoreline. I saw it
that.
at Shoreline. Wait, I saw it at Shoreline. No, I saw it at Shoreline.
Oh okay. Wait,
I saw the
wait,
Shoreline.
wait.
The one that was the second, the one after that.
No, Forest Hills Drive.
No, what was that?
Your Eyes
Shoreline.
Only.
Yours, I saw that one too. That shit was
Only.
crazy. I saw it with Johnny.
Your
Yeah.
Eyes Only. Shout out to fucking Christian, my new babe. He knows someone who got us box seats for the Forest Hill Drive show. That was insane. Yeah. But we were box seats at Shoreline. You're right.
Oh, but yeah, like that. I saw him at Outside Lands. Great performance. He brought old hits like from like
Outside Lands.
Friday Night Lights.
That was like 2019, 18.
18, I think.
18, right? Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
that's fucking sick. Yeah.
But he was a great performer. Vince Staples is a great performer.
Vince Staples is so underrated,
good.
but I think it's because he's so nonchalant.
You don't give a fuck. You
That
just
like,
be vibing.
yeah, so like it almost makes you not give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I
You're
like
just
his music. I'm
yeah.
a big fan of his music. Like I saw him once with like 100-degree fever. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it. This was before Corona though.
I don't know, man.
This shit was like 2018 at the Fox Theater.
So-
This was at the Fox Theater. Leave me alone.
All right.
Hey, I may have been patient. What's it called? Patient Zero.
Patient Zero.
But
Yeah.
fuck it.
Dude, that's hilarious.
The Weeknd was really good live. Like,
You seen The Weeknd?
I've seen Drake live. I saw Views.
I saw. Oh, dude.
That shit really beautiful
But okay,
performance.
you were going to shows when I was now poor, right? So I went to shows when I was like in high school all the way through like maybe like what would be considered my junior year of college. You started your sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
Going to all these shows.
Yeah.
So like now it's just kind of like you're going to more like arena stadium type shows versus where I was going to like festivals.
The
and
Catalyst.
sing-
You're at the Catalyst.
Yeah, dude. I saw Mac Miller at the Catalyst by myself. I drove up there by myself. Fucking met like a bunch of people. I had like 4 blunts rolled up, so I was just like, I'm gonna share this with everyone and just like vibe out, you know?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And like seeing Mac Miller for his unfortunate last tour was so fucking magical.
You know what's crazy? I saw him at Flognaw.
Mm-hmm.
Divine Feminine Beautiful. It was beautiful, like, in festival. And that's, like, right before he died.
Right.
I saw Juice WRLD at Flognaw 2019. He was, like, 3 songs in. I was like, shit, let's go see Summer Walker. Like,
Yeah.
he's still young. He's 19 or 20. I forgot, like, how young he was before he passed. And, like, I was like, we'll see him another day. Died, like, what, a month later?
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck. I was like...
So would you say that you kind of kill rappers?
Yeah, I'd be killing them.
You just be seeing them?
I'd be manifesting. Nah, I don't ever do any of that bullshit. I'd never manifest. Like, if I manifest, it's for greatness of mine.
Right. No, yeah.
I'm a curse.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had like a little run where I went to like maybe like 6 concerts by myself. And like that honestly changed my way of like how I...
Dude, I went to Vic Mensa by myself once.
Who was opening for him? Gold Link?
It was like Joey Perps.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen Vince Mensa with like Gold Link opening up, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That
shit was sick,
at the
though.
Catalyst once again.
Yeah. I saw him at some small ass place in San Francisco. It was like right after Outside Line, so it was like at 11 p.m. It was like at midnight.
Damn. So he did an after show.
Yeah, but he wasn't even at Outside Lines. Like, it was just part of his tour, but I think he knew, like, oh fuck, I can't do it early because then no one gonna show up.
Right. Yeah, that's insane.
But I felt safe though because they like really checked you. So I was like, you know when like some festivals you go in, you're like, damn, they really check me. Like, you can really bring anything up in this bit.
In
like,
Outside Lands?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of content. I'm like, yo, y'all really don't really check. Like, that's kind of scary. Like, I'm just thinking my own personal like safety. I'm like, should be crazy. I was like, but yeah, like the third day, it could be Tyler. I'm trying to think. I'm like, who do I listen to? Let's see, like what big star I be listening to.
Okay, so like so on average when you start listening to music, or no. This is a better question. So like on average when you start creating like a new piece, like for a shirt or something, how do you get your inspiration? Like, do you get it from music? Do you get it from just the culture that is LA around you? Or like are you using that history degree and going back and looking at things and being like, oh, this is sick?
I think it's a mix of LA, social media, and like old archival like social media websites like Instagram, like all those like old archive shits. Like, I love seeing just like going through it because I'm like, oh, that's sick. I was like, I may not recreate it, but at least that like gives me in a certain time frame where I'm like, I like that certain piece and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit, like I would like to make something like that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like these pictures of some people wearing like these certain t-shirts. I'm like, I like the style or the way those shirts are cut, and I kind of want to do stuff like that. And then like I may not want that graphic on it, but I want something like from like on a blank that's like that.
Right. So okay. So like.
And then like I was just like, oh, how am I feeling? Like, shit, what do I see people wear? Like, what do I like? It's like, because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's like, what do I like? Like, if I don't like it, like I'm not gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, you can make some stuff that's like easy to make and like sell it, but it's like at the end of the day, I don't like it. I wouldn't wear it. Like, why would I want to sell you something I don't want to wear?
Right.
Like, you'll always see me like in my own shit because I'm like the hoodie, like back over there, I'm always in the hat or in like t-shirts. I'm just like yeah, maybe like of course it's like I'm promoting my shit, like, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I would like it, so I'm gonna wear it. Like,
right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the same way with anyone, right? Who's posting like a flyer for an event or like whatever. It's like, yeah, like say it with your chest, you know,
Yeah.
and then people will believe you.
You gotta believe in yourself before anyone ever believes in you.
You gotta believe in
That's the whole thing
yourself
about King Ivan.
and-
Like the King Ivan thing, like the Instagram being called King Ivan. It's like you gotta believe you're a star before, like, and something like with confidence. You gotta believe you're gonna be what you're gonna be before anyone else does. Because like people like can always believe in you. Like, oh, I always knew you were gonna do it, but like at the end of the day, it was kind of when you were like, oh shit, I can do it. Like I can do this. Like I can.
Yeah.
So you gotta believe. It's the self-belief is always the hardest part because people, oh, I want to make this, but they never do it. Why? Because they didn't believe themselves. Like sometimes, like yeah, like they're like, oh, I didn't have money. I'm like, you don't always need money, dude.
Right.
Like if you really wanted to, you'd find a way.
Right.
There's always a way.
Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of ways, like it kind of like my biggest ick in people ends up being like the self-doubt that they have on themselves. That to me is the ugliest thing you can do. Second to just being a piece of shit, obviously. But it's just like, dude, like you should have confidence in yourself to be whatever the fuck you want. And sometimes you just need to ask for help because you don't have all the answers. So just suck it up and be like, yo, bro, like I see you doing this. How'd you do that? Why'd you do it that way?
Yeah.
versus being like, man, fuck that guy. Like, that's not even that sick, even though you're fucking stroking your dick around it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, dude, no, just fucking
Ask,
you know?
and
Like,
sometimes
knowledge
like,
is power, you know?
yeah,
like,
it ain't that deep. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, like I helped them out, like duh. It's like no,
right.
like,
And even if they are, it's
fuck
like,
them. Be like, I need help. Like
yeah.
shit.
And like, the only reason why they're saying that is because you got their help and you made it better than what they did. So now they're hating on you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like, just fucking reach out, dude. Like, at the end of the day, we all just want like some sort of contact, you know?
Yeah.
Just being like, someone needed me today, or someone asked
I
about
knew
like,
them before they blew the fuck up. Like, dude,
Right.
I remember when we used to work at like it's like, okay.
yeah. So it's just little things like that. But I mean, yeah, like at the end of the day, like I like what I've noticed is that like people are gonna hate regardless, you know, but they kind of hate, like some people either hate in a positive way. Like I know when I'm doing something bad when my friends are making fun of me.
Yeah.
But if my friends aren't saying anything, I know that they're like, holy shit, like,
You're actually
you know,
doing it.
like,
You're actually doing
like,
it.
you know, like if I'm in the middle of a mix and they're not like, you know, they're just kind of watching it, I know that's a sick mix.
Yeah.
Or like if with some of these podcast things, like my core group of friends, the other people I don't really care too much about. But my core group of friends where I'm just like, holy shit, they're not saying anything and they're not poking fun and being like, you looked weird, da, da, da. They're just always like silent and just kind of quietly watching, being like, when can I come on? You know, like,
it's like, I want to be on this shit. Like,
yeah, and it's just like it's different and it's cool. It's cool. That's how I know I feel like I'm doing something, you know. And then we have before we kind of like wrap this up a little bit.
Yeah, my mom texted me a while ago, be like, yo, where the fuck you at? I'm like, oh, okay, give me a second. That's how like when I know the invaders, they're like, he was texting, I was like, mom was like, yo, I need to like come pick myself. I was like, okay.
Before we wrap this up, I do want to give a special shout out to our near and dear future sponsor. I won't say who it is quite yet, but you know, if you're feeling like death, just drink some liquid.
And if you feel thirsty, drink some water.
Exactly. You know, and sometimes it might be sparkling and sometimes it just might be straight filtered, but you know, we're here for you. And then also I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Ivan. Thank you for coming out. This has been an amazing show. This was sick. The budget is not that high.
No,
we're
I'm
not
joking.
flying anyone out. We're not paying for Ubers.
My parents
I'll
flew
buy
me out.
you alcohol, and that's pretty much it.
Water and alcohol, all right?
Yeah, water and alcohol, and that's all that's on the rider. Everything else you need to bring. I'll smoke you out. That's also another thing.
Yeah, a lot of weed.
Yeah, but outside or other than that, thank you again. This is fucking sick. Thank you everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe. This has been another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. Thank you, Matt. And yeah, peace.
Buy Ortem at ortem.us.
Oh, there we go. Buy link.
Selfish
Link on
plug.
yeah, link in the description. Everything will be there. Instagram.
Ortem_USA, I think, or USA _Ortem. It's one of the two, but you'll find me.
You'll find it. Oh, you'll find me. Oh, that's another hard flex. All right, peace.